Shoot at these niggas, no bitchin'. Yeah, they see the cops, they bitchin'.
I watched it. You talking about when the ninja with the Shinjitsu,
Hello,
whatever the fuck,
hello,
when she was
hello.
slippery?
Nah, bro. When they fought one of the Tencent.
Yeah, movie guys, movie
Yeah.
guys, movie guys.
It was the fat guy, the ninja girl, the other girl.
Hold on, what are we talking about?
And then the blind dude and
Hell's Paradise.
the blind dude came and helped, right?
Yeah, they killed the Tencent.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, I watched that.
So they killed one of them.
I know, but to me, it was like then at the end, you realize, oh, Buddy had amnesia.
Yeah. That's how it ended.
That was the end.
That was
what?
Yeah, because they do it's called 2-core season, so they're gonna continue season 1, I think, later in the fall.
What the butt? Okay, at least it's coming out this year. I thought it was gonna have to wait a whole another year.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's so when they do 13 episodes, usually the other 13 come out later in the year.
All right, I'm not mad at that.
But Jujutsu Kaisen's out, so you can watch that.
Facts.
Hey man, this is not anime, guys. This is movie, guys.
Hey, he been working on that. Yeah.
Movie guys.
Dude, we need to. You know what we need to do?
You guys watch some movies. What we need to do?
We need to get. I don't know if I'm sure you can like find a website for them to pay for it. But you know the dudes that be on Pierre Boys like, you ain't got no sauce. You know that radio voice? I wonder if you can pay somebody to say in those type voices, movie guys. You know, like a intro. That would be fire.
It's time for movie guys.
Yeah, that'd be hard, bro. You're all network central of cinema, filmography. Yeah, we could do that. I'm gonna write something up.
So,
yeah, movie guys, let's get it.
Before we get into it, let me do a little intro. Look, we've been gone, y'all. It's been like what? It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Damn, has it been that long?
Let me see. I just want to be accurate. I'll be accurate. The last episode was June 21st. It's July 15th.
Woo, yeah.
So
Damn.
it been a good 3 weeks, man. So we've been gone. You know, it's been
Seeing
a lot.
movies though.
We've been seeing some movies. We've been seeing some movies. We're gonna talk about some of them today. So before we get into it, let me just run it down for y'all. Today we got Asteroid City, Insidious, The Red Door,
Ooh.
Indiana Jones, and the Dial
Yes,
of
sir. Yes,
Destiny.
sir.
And last but not
Yes,
least,
sir.
we got Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Part 1.
Turn me up.
Yeah.
Turn me up.
So, before we get into it, how's everybody doing, man? Everybody, you know, just real quick, get your intro. Say how you feeling. What's going on?
You know, well, I just came from getting my hair done, so I'm actually movie ready. You dig? So
Ooh, the
okay.
baddest bitch. The baddest bitch. Okay, you got your
Turn me
hair.
up.
Okay.
Red Fake sharing clothes with his mama is the funniest shit that we found out this year. That is so funny.
Two baddies.
Okay.
Too bad.
I know this thick ass nigga not talking.
Kitty. All right,
Two
I'm gonna go
baddies,
next.
one fit. Okay, go ahead.
This your boy A to the home base head honcho movie guy extraordinaire.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like the glue that kept this shit together. You dig? We here to talk about movies. My waist size is 29. Let's turn up. Let's turn up.
A little snack.
Yeah, I'm on my phone right now, but we had to do an errand real quick. But we're gonna be on that studio
Mobile
quality here in a
poppy.
few minutes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're
Right there.
gonna be in the studio here in a little bit though.
So, Tyrek, man, what's going on, man? What's up?
No, and there's no Marvel rants today, so y'all.
Thank the Lord Jesus. Hey, while we in here, don't nobody say shit about no superhero. I don't want to hear shit about no superhero. Please, please.
There might be a Star
Please.
Wars one.
Okay. We missing a few people, man. John Donuts, shout out to John Donuts. He in the chat. Hey, John, look, we miss you on the podcast. I know you got some shit you've been going through, dealing with. Take care of what you got to take care of, brother. But whenever you can, we would love to have you back.
Got a lot
Also,
of movies to see when you come back.
we do have special guests coming through if they are still free. I invited my boy King Kiso to come through. He saw a couple of these films, as well as Long Tongue Larry. I'm sorry, what's his name? Long Game Larry. He's supposed to be stopping by as well. So yeah, we're gonna see,
Larry.
man.
Yeah. Those are. You know what's funny? This is the first crossover episode, or maybe second, because Kiso been on here. Kiso is he's a movie man,
He is a
Yeah,
movie
and
man.
I think
Yes, he is.
and I think what is it? Larry is a cinema buff, a movie buff. What do you call himself?
He's a cineman.
Cineman?
He's a cineman. Cineman.
Yeah, cineman.
Are we gonna?
And you know,
And,
Kiso,
man,
shout out to
man,
Kiso,
man.
man. He's the movie guy's biggest critic, but we appreciate that. We appreciate that constructive criticism. So shout out to
Yeah,
Kiso.
him and Jack, pretty much.
Man, it's crazy, man. Every time I look around, I see the field. We spawn the movie buffs, the cine niggas, the movie. But who was
Big
that dude on
trendsetter.
Wet Wheel?
So my son
Yeah,
got switched. He a movie nigga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, man. Look, whatever we can do to stoke the fire of creativity. Get in. Oh, I'm about to put that on a shirt. That's fine. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't copyright that. Don't steal that in the chat. It's copyright.
Don't steal that Jiggy merch. Fantastic. Don't steal that. Let's go.
So let's get into it, man. I'm gonna get some of the smaller titles out the way first. Me and Alex saw a film a couple of weeks ago called Asteroid City. Some of y'all may have seen trailers and promotion for it. It's a movie directed by Wes Anderson. I want Alex to go first, but before I let him go, I just want to give a quick intro. Wes Anderson is known for doing sort of out of the box movies. And they're kind of like indie movies, but a lot of his movies have pretty sizable budgets with big name stars in them. So he kind of toes that line where he's not like your typical small movie maker. He's kind of like in the middle somewhere, but he has a very unique way of making movies. Yes, go ahead.
I think he's just now getting into mainstream, even though he's had like a ton of movies since he said like the late 90s, early 2000s. I think he's just now getting into household name recognition.
Yeah, I mean, as far as being known,
even
yeah.
if you haven't seen a Wes Anderson film, even on social media, the new trends have been like his editing style with the colors. Now they have there's phone apps that have filters called a Wes Anderson preset. Then you have people on social media saying, you know, here's my day as a Wes Anderson film, where they do like the
Right.
landscape shot and
Visco
like
shit.
they try to, huh?
No, some Visco shit.
A lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
TikTok,
visco
a lot of
shit.
TikTok
Yeah, a
shit
lot of
going on.
TikTok people, and it's like it seemed like the general public are just now catching on to like he's so stylistic, and I feel like people are just now catching on to that, which is pretty cool because it's like you anytime one of your favorite directors or writers or some shit when they get the recognition they've been deserving, it makes you smile. It's like when your favorite rapper get nominated for a Grammy, nigga, you know, when he been working for years and years. But I can go first, yeah. So this film, one thing that always amazes me, I don't know I don't know what the budget was, but damn near every time I see one of his films, I'm like, how the fuck did he get this person in his movie? Like this cast on Asteroid City. Do you have the list pulled up, one time?
The
If you could look up, if you could just look up a poster, it probably have all the names on it.
So real
This nigga
quick,
had damn near
the budget
every
was
A-list celebrity.
real quick, Alex. The budget was 25 million.
That's it.
The
Oh
movie
my
has made 41 million in the box office.
fam. If you could you find a list of the names real quick while I introduce this? Because I don't think unless you see it, there were people that I didn't see on the trailer. There were people that I didn't see on a
I have a cast
poster.
list. I have a cast list for you.
Yeah, read that off real quick.
So real quick, we have Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright. He played most recently Commissioner Gordon in the Batman. Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrian Brody, Liev Schreiber. He used to play Sabretooth in the X-Men movie. Who else we got? Rupert Friend. He's a pretty big. Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter. Steve Carell. Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon was in that movie we watched, The House That Jack Built. He's in this movie, Asteroid City.
Yeah.
Willem
Random as
Dafoe
fuck.
is in this movie. Margot Robbie is in this movie. Tony Revolori. He's worked with Wes Anderson a couple of times. Sophia Lillis, the girl from the It movies.
Yep.
Who else do we have? Jeff
That was random as
Goldblum.
hell.
Jeff Goldblum. Rita Wilson. That's actually Tom Hanks' wife in real life. Yeah, man, and a few other. Oh, Bill Murray was supposed to be in it, but he dropped out. So, but that goes to show you, man, big cast in this movie.
Bam, and only 25 million to make. Now, the movie itself, it doesn't look like it was super expensive, but the way Wes Anderson does this film, it could be literally when you watch this film, the town has like 4 pieces. There's literally 4 pieces of this town. It's a gas station, a diner, a bridge that ain't done building, and like a tiny little neighborhood. Like this is the most bare bones set ever, right? And I don't want to spoil it, but basically what he's done on this film. So you tell me one time, I've never seen someone do this. He's effortlessly blended a screenplay with a movie. Literally, that is the movie. It's a movie about a screenplay, and the movie is the screenplay as you're watching it. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like
Right.
at first, I didn't realize like it was saying Act 1, Act 2, and then I realized like, oh, he's actually talking about it and narrating what we're watching, but the people in the movie are in the real world on a play. It's like the way you could think about it, there's black and white segments and then there's the movie, right? The black and white segments are the real life. And it's like the movie is what the viewer should be seeing the story as. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I'm reading you a bedtime story and the dream you have about it, that's the movie. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's so well shot and the actors did what they had to do. Nobody in this movie didn't take advantage of the screen time they had, if that makes sense. Like every time somebody came on the screen, I'm like, yeah, this shit feels like the actors came on here. Fuck my price. Fuck what I would usually charge for this amount of screen time. I want to be involved in a Wes Anderson film. Kind of like when y'all told me how Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper because he just wanted to say he was in a Star Wars film and he just wants to be a part of it.
Right.
That's what this movie felt like. This movie felt like everyone had fun. This movie felt like it was fun to make. The humor is funny as hell. It's smart humor. Steve Carell was fun to watch. There's a few moments in this movie where you like it's so goofy that you look to your left and right and you're like, what the fuck? I know there's a scene that you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna spoil it one time, but when that one person shows up on the screen and you like, did they just like the mediums change? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not like on Bo is Afraid, but you know what part I'm talking about. Even that, it's like you looking around, you're like, what the fuck? Like, it's this movie is a question mark, but also a period at the same time. Like you question a lot of shit, but you accept what you're seeing. And this is one of the movies, bro. Like, I feel like we've been having a really good year of shit that stands out. Last year, it started with Everything Everywhere All at Once. It started with that. And now I feel like I feel like cinema, like movies are becoming fun again. Like they're starting to branch out of that typical archaic the introduction, climax, the whatever, you know, the hero's journey arc or whatever the fuck. These movies feel different. They stand on an island on their own. It start this year. We've had Bo is Afraid. Last year we had Babylon. It wasn't too crazy, but we're starting to get real pieces of like I don't know. Movies are just fun to me again, and it's movies like this that are bringing that out. Um, I think that's all I got to say on it without spoiling it. Wonton, if you want to go.
Yeah, so real quick, I'll run down the synopsis without spoiling. Essentially, this movie is set in a fictional 1950s Western town. In the town, they're known for an asteroid. There's an asteroid that lands in the town. You don't see it actually landing. It's just it's something that's known when you start the film. And so they have this tourism because of the asteroid. They also have this scientific competition for children. Children can come to the city and showcase their talents with different scientific tools or creations or inventions. And essentially, the movie's about an alien coming to take the asteroid. Now that's as far as I go without spoiling. And even me telling you that synopsis, it does not really tell you what you're going to be watching. This is one of those movies where if I just tell you the synopsis, it doesn't really do the movie justice because it's not told in a sense of a traditional movie. Now, getting away from that, what I want to tell you about is when it comes to Wes Anderson movies, I have not seen a lot of his movies. He has a pretty long list of movies that he's done over the last like 20 years. And the only one that I've seen is Grand Budapest Hotel, which is also one of his most well-known movies. And I like that movie. It's the same thing as all his other movies. It's really done well visually. It had really good acting in it. And so going into Asteroid City, I wasn't going into it as like a Wes Anderson fan per se. The thing that made me want to go see this movie was mainly the visuals. When they were showing the trailers for this movie before it came out, it always just looked really beautiful. I love the color choices for this movie, the way he did like the set designs and everything. And then you have that cast list with all those fucking big name actors, and they're in roles that they typically don't do. So all that together is something that made me want to check this movie out. Now, speaking about the movie itself, and I won't spoil it, but all I will say is, story-wise, this movie didn't really do much for me. It wasn't a bad movie by any means. I liked the movie. It's just, if I'm just picking the story specifically, the story itself didn't really grab me. The main thing that I like about this movie, it's really carried for me by the visuals. The movie's beautiful all the way through. Very, very colorful. The acting is good. And I like when movies do things differently, but not just for the sake of being different. They actually do it differently and it's done well. So like Alex mentioned earlier, they do a mix of the movie, but it's also like a stage play and it's mixed in between. It's very, very unique how he did it. So altogether, I like the movie. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it maybe, I don't know, maybe like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a
You know
7.5 out
what's
of
crazy?
10.
You know what's crazy? I don't think, and not to pull away from your analysis, but I don't think the story is like. I think that's why I'm saying this movie feels weird. It's like the movie story is the story about the film, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
the think pieces in black and white, it's about the film. It's about the screenplay. It's about the writer trying to create this film.
Mhm.
So it's like this is the first film in a minute where it felt like the story was purposely given a back seat because the interactions between the actors, the actual
Yeah.
I'll give an example. This ain't gonna spoil none, but I'll give an example. There was literally a scene where a dude is talking to Scarlett Johansson, one of the main characters. Well, they feel like all main characters, to be honest. But
Mhm.
the dad, he's talking to Scarlett Johansson. He says, she's like, why would, like, he put his hand on like an iron or whatever, like a waffle maker or a toaster, grilled cheese toaster, whatever the fuck. He just put his hand there. And she's like, why would you do that? Did you just do that? And he went, hold on. He literally walked away and went to the black and white world. He went to the director. He was like, no, he went to another guy and he was like, am I doing this right? Like, am I portraying this character the right way? You know the part I'm talking about?
Yeah. He kind of breaks
Like, it's,
character.
yeah, it breaks the fourth wall, but it's not jarring because the entire movie is towing the line, the boundary between the third and the fourth wall. That's what this movie does, and I think that's why I like it. Like it's, I don't know. To me, I understand. Like for you, is like you could watch it and feel like, okay, I mean, I get it, but I don't feel like I got a complete story. I definitely understand that, but I do think that was purposeful. And I already know
Yeah.
niggas in the comments, or people that watch this, they're gonna be like, "Here y'all go making this. Here you, Alex, go making excuses of a film. If it feel incomplete, it's incomplete." But this is one of those type of movies where that is the point of the movie. I think like it's meant to. Your story is William Dafoe having the cast, the members that you see in the film. Remember, it was black and white, and they were doing a casting call, and he
Right.
was like, "I need somebody to fall asleep on screen," and I was like, "How the fuck we gonna fall asleep?" Like, and he's like, "Think of your, and that thought process of trying to find people for this play." And then the nigga coming out of nowhere being like, well, I did a scene where I was getting a massage and actually fell asleep and woke up at the right time where my line was where I needed to say it. Like, it's shit like that. Appreciate you. It's shit like that where I feel like that's the story. Like the characters are the story, in my opinion. And they blend well with the screenplay and all that shit. But yeah, man, I feel like as far as Wes Anderson films, all the ones I've seen, Grand Budapest Hotel is definitely probably the top for me. This would be
Yeah,
like
I
a good
agree.
second. I feel like this would be a good second because there is a lot of little shit in this movie that is so small, but you really appreciate the detail he took. Like that bridge that's like halfway built, and
Yeah,
then it
and
had a
it's
sign where
funny
it was,
that he
yeah,
puts
it's
like comedy in his movies, and there's a lot
yes.
of parts in this that are like subtle, that are just like they're really
hmm
funny. Like
And he's good at that. Wes Anderson isn't a punchline comedian. His comedy doesn't have punchlines. That's just is what it is. Like you just look at some shit and you like, what the? That's just funny. Like you just looking at it. Like
or
the
like a
bridge
character
was
will have
halfway built.
a dialogue line that's just I don't know. It's some good
Yeah,
writing and shit in it.
like it's one road in the whole town, and they got a bridge crossing a 10-foot road, and then it said, oh, to keep in mind, ain't nothing in there but the desert. But the sign said incomplete build because of miscalculation. It's like, nigga, ain't nothing right there. What do you miscal? Like it's little shit where it's just like you really, like I said, it feels like they had fun making this movie, and as a viewer, I
Yeah,
had fun with them, and that's a movie guys take. Shoot,
and you can see why a lot of big name actors want to work with them because, like Alex
facts.
said, it's fun. You can imagine it'd be fun for them to do something not only different, but yeah, just to have fun actually making a movie. But yeah, I would recommend the movie if you guys want to watch it on streaming. I don't know where it's streaming. You might have to rent it on the digital or something, or get the free version. But yeah, it's a fun
This is
watch,
Scarlett
man.
jo- this is Scarlett Johansson's best acting that I've seen, and I'm not somebody that sees all of her films, but
Hmm.
this was a film where when I was looking at her, I was like, okay, I don't feel like she got this role because she's pretty. I really feel like she's doing this role well. I don't know if that means anything to
She
anybody,
did act
but
well. Yeah, she did.
yeah, she did a good job, and I was really
They had a
impressed because
very
I've only known.
unexpected Scarlett Johansson nude scene too. It threw me off. I was like, wow,
Oh
okay.
yeah, she was, bro, nigga, full frontal pussy boobs. I was like, yo, and on
Yeah, I
top of
was.
that,
Yeah.
she was in the Prestige, right?
I'm not
I think
sure.
she was in the Prestige. Yeah, she was in the Prestige. I don't think I've seen Scarlett Johansson act this well in a long time because the stuff that she's been doing hasn't required this of her. What was she in Black Widow before? What has she been in before this? Black
She's
Widow?
been in Marvel a lot. She wasn't in Prestige, by the way, but she's been in Marvel a lot.
Oh, she
The most,
wasn't. I thought
the
she was in
most.
Prestige.
No, she was. She was in that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the most recent thing I've seen, I've heard. I haven't seen it, but I've heard that she was good in the movie Jojo Rabbit that came out a couple years ago. I heard she was good in that, and
Really? Okay.
there was a movie. What's it called? Something about a marriage, where she basically played like a wife, and the whole point of the movie was them arguing. She got a lot of notoriety from that. That was also a couple
Yeah.
years ago. So
Yeah. Good movie, man. Good movie, man.
but yeah, I would recommend it. So next up, let's go ahead and talk about another movie that some of us saw. Insidious, The Red Door. Now, real quick, I want to ask who all in here have seen the movie? Who all saw Insidious?
I did
You know, I
not.
saw that dumb shit.
Alex saw it.
Was I the only one that
Uh,
saw it?
What?
Did
Insidious?
you see Insidious, Red?
Fuck no.
Okay, so real quick, let me tell y'all. Me personally, I did not go see this movie, not necessarily because I wasn't interested in it. It's more so because I have not seen any Insidious movies outside of the first one, and even the first one, I cannot tell you what the fuck it was about. I saw it so long ago. I might have been distracted. I can't tell you a single thing about Insidious 1 other than it was a little boy. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
So Alex is the only one that saw Insidious. Now Alex, he is known to be a fan of horror movies. So
Yes, sir.
Alex, if you will, go ahead and give your take on Insidious: The Red Door.
Okay, man. And I'll be quick since I'm the only one that saw it. This movie is trash, but we all knew that going in. It's a PG-13 horror. Literally, this film the only reason for this film is for the folks that saw the first Insidious. This was like fan service. Like the story of this film felt like DLC. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know how it'd be like Life is Strange, and then you get an extra episode or some shit or whatever the fuck. That's what this movie felt like. This movie served no purpose. The first movie, just to catch y'all up to date, because literally, other than the first movie, I don't see how this ties into anything else. The first movie, the dad was haunted by these spirits. His mom did because he used to, I forgot what they call it, the dream walking, but essentially, there's a term they use for when you like travel. I don't know why it's evading me right now. But essentially, in the dream world, spirits are able to contact these people that have the ability. And you know, being a kid, you know, they get mysterious. They want to venture more into it, but the further, isn't that what it's called? The further or some shit? I don't know. But essentially, as a kid, he was haunted by it or whatever the fuck. His mom did some shit with this old lady who got him to erase his memory of it, and he don't remember it. And then Insidious 1, his son and got it. Hereditary got the ability to do it as well. And then the dad remembers, oh shit, I used to do this as a kid too. And then he had to relearn his ability of how to do it to go save his kid because his kid was in a coma. Remember one time his son was just bedridden, and
Yeah.
the spirit, because he was in a coma, he was essentially stuck dreaming. So the spirit basically captured him. He was like, oh, I got your ass now. You're not waking up. And I'm about to control your body. I'm about to, you know, use you as a vessel. His dad had to go save him, right? And y'all probably remember that scene where he's holding him in the dark, and they had to, you know, he had him in his arms. He had to run with a flashlight. It was an old lady, yada yada yada, typical movie stuff. One thing I'll give Insidious, when it came out, was a scary movie that made the jump scares very there were a few that were obviously, like, I know y'all remember the one with the red dude behind the dude face. Stuff like that's an obvious jump scare. But Insidious had a handful of shit where unless you saw it, you're not gonna get scared. And that's why a lot of people loved Insidious. I'll give an example. There was when the little boy was dancing in the living room to tiptoe through the garden. That was another thing. There had been a long time since the scary movie had a creepy song that everybody was like, "Ooh, shit, that's that creepy song." You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was that scene where the little boy was tiptoeing in the garden. The mom runs in. She's like, "Oh, I just saw a little boy in here." And she's going through the house and she don't see him. If you don't see this, I remember when I saw it because me and my mom screamed, but nobody else in the theater saw it. When she's going through the house, the little boy is facing the wall with his face next to a coat rack, but you don't if you just see a coat rack, that's all you see. But there's a whole boy like playing, he's hiding and seeking in plain sight, and you don't see it unless you see it. And Insidious had a few moments like that where that's kind of why people put Insidious at the top of that's a scary movie list, because it was doing different shit. It was shot differently. This movie, so I'll give Insidious credit for them. Basically, every scary movie that's come out since then has kind of tried to copy Insidious. The Nun, the fucking Pray Away the Devil, fucking what was the movie that just came out where Smile? Like all these scary movies that have been coming out, they feel like they come from the Insidious tree. So I got to give them credit for starting a new wave of shooting. You see what I'm saying? I give them credit for
very
that.
influential, yeah.
Yeah, they were influential. I give them credit for that. But this movie, bro, I'll give the dad one thing. The dad that plays this role, I don't know his name. He was in Netflix's In the Tall Grass. In the Tall Grass in this movie is the best acting I've ever seen him do. That is one
Alex,
thing
you
I
know
can
he
give this movie.
directed this movie too. He directed this in the
Yeah,
Insidious.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, this is the best acting he's done in any of the Insidious movies, bar none. Like the nigga's crying, he frustrated, he's sad. Like you see a range of emotions, and he put his foot into his acting. Not saying that he did like it was an amazing acting job, but for what he's done in the past movies and for a horror movie, the nigga was doing what he had to do. The movie wasn't scary. Just cut to the chase. The movie wasn't scary. Uh, the supporting characters, it suffered from that thing that, well, there was a movie we all saw recently where it's just like, why the fuck is everybody okay with this? Like, if you were real deal seeing this shit happen, you're not just gonna Transformers. Remember Transformers? A little kid was like, "There's a giant alien robot outside, isn't it? You better take care of my brother." Like, that's not realistic. Or like when the older brother sees him and he's like, "I'm gonna help y'all, but after that, I'm out." Like, these are giant fucking robots. And the girl, "Do you want to help us save the world?" She turned around from the camera, look away for 3 seconds, like, "Yeah, I'll help you." Like, what the fuck are these reactions? That's what this movie had. This nigga's son had a roommate, and he's like, "Yeah, so I can see demons and shit." And she's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna help you figure it out because I read a book at the library." Fuck! Like, the story is ass, it's not scary, and then when the movie ends, it's like this Disney Channel fucking, and everyone's happy and we're gonna hug it out. Like, we did it. I'm a good dad. Like, this movie further proves that if it's gonna be scary, a scary movie cannot be PG-13. It cannot be PG-13 for one. Two, this has to be the death. I'm sorry. Scary movies that go past the number 3, I don't need them. I don't need them. They're not scary. Like, think of any franchise. What number did they stop being scary at? Probably 2 or 3.
I know
It's like,
I know Scream 3 for sure is ass. And that movie those movies aren't even really
bro,
that scary, but Scream 3 is ass.
fam, it's like, it's not scary. Like, and it's annoying because a lot of these horror movies, when a horror movie come out, that's pretty much the only scary movie out right now. Like, back in the day, I feel like we used to get The Ring, The Grudge, Saw, fucking uh I'm blanking right now, but there's a bunch of scary movies. I feel like year round we had multiple scary movies to go see. Nowadays we get one scary movie for 3 or 4 months. And that's why these fucking movies are successful. There's nothing else out as a horror lover to go see. There's nothing else out until Talk to Me comes out. And then after Talk to Me comes out, what comes out?
So they got an Exorcist sequel. It's like a reboot / sequel that's coming out this year. There's a movie called The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which is like takes place on a ship, and it's about Dracula.
I saw that trailer.
It's about Dracula attacking the ship and killing niggas on the ship.
Yep. That looked good, by the way. I'm gonna go see that. But yeah, so it's like, y'all peep, bro. Like, there's no competition. And I really feel like the horror industry, I feel like they doing that for each other so that there's no other reason why Talk to Me shouldn't be out right now. There's no reason or the fact that Evil Dead came out, what, 2 months ago? 2.5,
April.
3 months ago?
Came out like April.
And when did Scream come out?
January. February.
January, April, July, and then fucking August. Like, no. See what I'm saying? Like they
Spaced
give
out.
each other
They
the
spaced
script.
out as hell.
They space it out on purpose because they want to be able to have a monopoly. Like, if you're a scary movie lover, there's nothing else to see, even when it's trash. Like, I remember when we was talking about Insidious. I'm like, bro, this movie gonna be fucking trash, but I'm gonna go see it because how else am I gonna get that fixed unless I go to Netflix or some streaming service and watch like some off the wall movie, you know?
Right.
But yeah, that like I said, bro, Insidious y'all can skip. The story doesn't progress the world of Insidious any further. It's literally another film of the dad and the son, and they both have to. Oh, funny, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it. Guess what happens in this movie? They got their memory wiped again. So guess what? They gotta
Oh,
remember and
brother.
learn that they can. Yeah, yeah. So they have to learn again that I can do this. I gotta learn how to do this again. Like, bro, that's stupid. It's
You know, it's
stupid.
crazy too because
But
this
look,
movie actually did well in the box office. So it's
yeah,
pretty
it
much
was what it made like
solidified. They'll
60
do it.
some million.
Yeah, they'll
It's
probably do
like
another
20
one.
some million.
They'll probably do another one. If they keep making money,
Yeah,
they're gonna keep making them. That's just how that works.
of course. Yeah, of course.
Same reason with
But
Scream.
I think this is where I draw the line, bro. This is the last Insidious movie I'm watching. This is where I draw the line. Because
Okay.
they literally just said, we gonna do it again. We gonna wipe the movie starts out with them getting their memory wiped again. And now they gotta learn how to dream walk again. And then he gotta go save his son again. Like it's the same movie. It's the exact same movie.
I
But
will
yeah.
say, I am looking forward to Talk to Me a lot.
Oh yeah, me too,
But
yeah.
part of me is worried. Maybe I'm too excited. Like, I mean, what if it don't hit? What if it don't? You know what I mean? Like, what if it don't hit? But the early reviews saying it's fire. They saying it's gas. I'm seeing some shit that I like. Niggas are saying this is one of the creepiest movies they've seen since Hereditary. For me who likes Hereditary, that's right up my alley. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It come out the 28th. Technically the 27th. I know y'all like to go on Thursday, so it'll be out on Thursday night, the 27th. Y'all can go see that. But yeah, I guess that's it for Insidious, man. Let me see what else we had. So I guess the next movie we can get into is Indiana Jones. We got a few people in here that saw Indiana Jones. Now, real quick, before I let y'all go, I'll give my brief history with Indiana Jones. Growing up, I never really watched no Indiana Jones movies. The only Indiana Jones movie I ever saw was the very first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That movie, and I actually rewatched that movie like 2 weeks ago, just to see, like, try to prepare myself for the new one. And what I learned was I'm not a big fan of Indiana Jones. It just don't really do nothing for me. The movie's not bad by any means. It's just like,
So the Uncharted hate starting to make sense to me now. That's all.
well, that's the thing. Like, I don't even hate Uncharted. I just think Uncharted. When people compare Uncharted to The Last of Us, I feel like it's the most unfair comparison. They're two completely different types of games. They each have their own strengths, and they're just too different to be comparing them. I like Uncharted as a game, but when you because it's fun playing it, but in movie form, it don't really do shit for me. Even the actual Uncharted movie, didn't really do much for me. I thought it was cool. But yeah, going back to Indiana Jones, the first movie's cool. But yeah, it wasn't really hitting for me, so I was like, you know what? I think I want to skip Dollar to Destiny. I'm just not that interested in Indiana Jones. And this movie felt like it was geared towards the fans of the franchise, so I just kind of felt like it wasn't going to be for me. That being said, I do plan on watching it when it comes to Disney Plus eventually. All the movies are on Disney Plus currently, like the previous movies. Even though I have heard that Dollar Destiny didn't really do well with critics, and it also is not doing well box office wise, not as well as Disney had hoped. They haven't been having a good year in movies in general so far, except for Guardians. But anyway, Red Peg did see the movie. Also, we got Chop in here. Chop, you saw the movie too, right?
Hold on,
Chop,
bro. Who else seen it?
I think Chop said he saw it in 40X, or he.
Chop seen it?
Tyrek, you there?
I didn't see Indiana Jones. I was gonna see it, and then some stuff came in the way, so I never got to watch it.
Okay. Well, Red Pig
Damn.
did see it. Red Pig. First of all, I'll give you a brief history. Red Pig is an uncharted dick eater.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If Nathan Drake was a real person, he would suck his dick. Okay.
Okay.
He loves
Okay.
Uncharted. Indiana Jones gives him that Uncharted fix. So he was very excited to see this movie. Red Pig, how was Indiana Jones for you?
You know, it was straight. I give it like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't perfect. I ain't gonna lie, the de-aging tech they used in the movie, it was impressive, but like you could tell it was like CGI and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, and on that train, I don't know if anybody Chop here, if that scene on the train, we start running, it looked like a straight up like a video game. Like he running weird, like did as Uncharted 1 animation. Like
That train was
yeah,
was it like a de-aging thing too? He was on the train
oh
like
yeah,
younger.
yes, the whole 30 minutes is basically CGI, de-aging. So and actually watching the movie, you're gonna realize Harrison Ford is getting too old for this shit because it's a lot of
Nigga, he's
stuff that was
90
off
years
the cuff.
old, damn near. He might be 90
Yeah, he
now.
like 80. Bro, the movie heavily relies on CGI because he can't do the shit. I know he used hella stunt doubles. So it even make a joke about him being old as shit in the movie, like we climbing and shit. Because yeah, and even the old cast return, they old as shit, and most of them get fucking clapped in the movie anyway. But yeah, it was cool. I guess the flashbacks, and um, if
Now,
this
Red
if this
Pig,
the last.
can you
Oh
tell me
yeah, I'm
real
about to say.
quick? Oh, go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was like, the way this movie used time travel is actually different from what most movies are doing for time travel this time. It was actually pretty cool. That was probably my favorite part of the movie, really. Um, and an opening set piece um on a horse in the city. So yeah, what you about to say?
That's what I was going to ask you. I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard some other people review the movie and details of the story. Um, I got to tell you, bro. I saw all the trailers for this movie. Not one time did I think this was going to be a time travel movie. When I heard that,
Yeah,
I said, what the fuck?
yeah,
Now, granted,
yeah,
Indiana Jones is not necessarily like some grounded shit. If you watch the other movies, there is some like fantastical, supernatural elements. So I wasn't
yeah.
too like thrown off by the time travel, but I was a little puzzled. Like when they showed the,
Fam, the one before this had aliens.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
The crystal skull.
when they
yeah.
showed in the trailer like the younger Indiana Jones, I'm thinking, okay, they're doing like a mixture of flashbacks and current
Nope.
day
The
and
only
age.
flashback the first 30 minutes of the movie.
This nigga actually going back in time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but Red Pick, I was going to ask you, what's your history with Indiana Jones? Have you seen all the previous movies, or you seen a couple?
I've actually seen all of them. Yep, yep.
So where would you rank this one amongst all the other ones?
I ain't gonna lie to you. This this might be one of the worst ones, dog. But that don't mean
Okay,
it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. It's just in
nothing,
comparison.
nothing
It's
special.
just
It's like it's a run of the mill Indiana Jones movie. So it's like you seen this one, you seen them all. Really, you ain't really missing nothing. I will say Harrison Ford is the star of the show to me in this movie. Obviously, um,
mhm.
he's just really good in this movie. Really charming as always. So yeah, really, you could this a way to come to Disney Plus. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This a way to come to Disney Plus. You enjoy it at home.
Okay.
Save your money.
Let's see. I think I had one more question for you about this movie. Let me ask you this: do you think, because you've seen all of them, you've seen this one, do you think they should recast Indiana Jones, like reboot it, go with somebody else,
Nah,
or do you think they should just leave this franchise on ice for like 20 years? What you think? What you
be
think?
be be done with it. Be done. Yeah, leave it on ice for like 20 years, and then come back with it.
Because the last one wasn't successful as far as I don't know how it did well box office wise, but the last one was the critics and people hated it. And this one, I don't think people hate it as much as the last one, but people aren't really liking this. They're not really
Yeah, this
feeling this
this
new one.
yeah, it's straight. It's straight. Like even when I came out the theater, I was like, yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. Ain't it's not ass.
Right.
But yeah, for the amount of money they spent on this movie, it should have been way better. But they spent like 300 mil, 250 mil, and that was probably basically mostly on the de-aging tech and most of the fucking CGI in the movie. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a wait to Disney Plus.
Wait for Disney Plus. I was going to do that anyway, so that's
Yeah,
cool. Let's see where we at, y'all. So we went over Indiana Jones. We only got one other movie to talk about, and maybe we can get into some side topics since we a little bit of ahead of schedule. I had some special guests. Oh wait, is Chop? Are you there?
Was good.
Did you see Indiana Jones?
No, because my friends
Oh.
was being childish.
I thought you
Unfortunately,
saw. Did you see any movies recently? I thought you saw something.
we was about. You said what?
Did you see anything recently? Any movies recently?
No, I'm just here to be a live viewer.
Okay, you for more support. Okay. So yeah, I had some special guests coming through for Mission Impossible. I don't know where they at. They might be busy. I invited my boy Kiso and Long Game Larry. But we can go ahead and get into Mission Impossible. I want to let the other people speak before I give my thoughts because I know they got some good, thoughts to share. Especially, I want to hear from Red Pig.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about this movie.
Red
so
Pig
I'm
had a
gonna
lot
let
to
Tyreek
say.
Alex go first.
He got a lot of shit to say. He talking a lot of shit.
Yeah,
But how about we switch it up? How about this? Tyrek, you saw the movie, right?
Yeah, I saw it. Day it came out Thursday. Mission Impossible, I've pretty much seen all of them. Really started getting interested in the series like around Ghost Protocol. That's when I feel like the series pretty much took off, and now it's like a worldwide phenomena. The first three movies are pretty good, but I think Ghost Protocol put this in a whole new level. I like the movie. I like the only thing I'll say is two parts, so you're not gonna get the full story in this movie. So a lot of the questions that the movie leaves you with won't be answered in this movie. You got to wait till the next movie to come out. So at the beginning of the scene with this, are we doing spoilers or?
Let's start out with spoiler free for the first half. We can go with spoilers in the.
So a lot of the stuff that happens in the beginning of the movie won't get resolved until the next movie. So, I mean, some people might see that as a negative, but I mean, it's part one. You know, there's a part two coming out, so I wouldn't really like mark it off for that. I thought the action of this movie, like it's an action movie. I thought the action was really, really good. I think Red Peg said earlier in the week they took a lot of Uncharted type of like set pieces and incorporated into the movie, and I thought it was really well. Did a really, really good job of like taking. I feel like whoever directed the movie or whoever did the choreography definitely is a big Uncharted fan because I feel like they pulled right from Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 a lot of those set pieces that we remember, especially like the ones that they sold the game on. They pulled right from the game into the movie. Tom Cruise was really, really good in this movie. The stunt he pulled off towards the end of the movie, which we'll get into, that was amazing. Like that was the last 35 minutes of the movie, and for him to actually pull that stunt off himself in real life, that's fucking insane. I thought that was like, because when we saw the stunt, I didn't think people know what stunt we're talking about with the motorcycle. I was like, what is he doing? Like, what's the point of him even doing that? And you kind of get why he has to do that based on the plot of the movie. I thought it was really excellent. I thought that Miss Atwell, the thief in the show, I thought she stole the show. I thought she gave the best acting performance out of everybody, more than Gabriel or Mr. Morales. He was a guy from Ozark. He was pretty good.
That was him. They blew fucking brains out.
Gabriel. So
I was like, yo, that nigga look familiar. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's his first, like, because he was a villain in Ozark, of course. Issei Morales. He did a really good job as a villain. I wouldn't say he's the best Mission Impossible villain. I think Philip J. Hoffman was probably the best one for Mission Impossible 3. But he was a really compelling villain, and I'm really looking forward to see what he does in the second half of the movie because he was beating the shit out of Tom Cruise. Like he was like literally 1 or 2, 3 steps ahead of everyone in the movie. Like the movie kind of explains why he's able to do that, but I feel like he wasn't just like a bystander based on the plot. Like he was like involved into it. And we're gonna get into the spoilers of why people might think that. I feel like any other actor would have been just like on the sidelines as the actual main villain and was actually doing this thing. But he wasn't just some stand-in villain. I feel like he did a real good job. Simon Pegg was great. Ving Rhames is great. You know, they've been doing this role for almost 20 years now, so they know what to do. Like they were always every movie that never really had an issue with them. I mean, they do their roles perfect every time they do it. They know what they do. This has been a thing for them for years. So I thought they did a really good job. Only disappointing thing is we got to wait for the next movie next year. But other than that, I love the movie. It's not my favorite action movie of the year. I'll give John Wick 4. I still think that's a better action movie. But I love this movie. I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's a good score too.
Yeah.
Alex, why don't you go ahead and give your thoughts right quick?
Can y'all hear me? I'm on my PlayStation now.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna let Red Peg do the narrative because I know he's excited to talk about the story, and about his love for Tom Cruise. I'll say this. A few months ago, we had an argument on whether Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise was the better action star. This movie solidified my argument that we had. And we could say it's because this is a PG-13 movie, right?
I think it's rated R, or is it?
Oh,
It's PG-13?
PG-13.
Okay.
Yeah. This movie perfectly proved my argument. Tom Cruise, whether it's his stature, whether it's his ability, whether it's his age, Tom Cruise looks great running at 51. How old is he? 61, 50 something?
Bro, he's like 59.
He's 59. This nigga is literally running he probably ran a total of a mile on screen. Like, we probably saw him run a mile screen time wise.
Hold on. I'm capped. He just turned 61, July 3rd. He's 61.
Yeah. As for 61, he looks amazing. Whether you want to say it's because of surgery for his face or whatever, his body, his running, his able to keep up. None of the scenes, it didn't have that Harrison Ford. I know he like probably 30 years older than him, but it didn't feel like that. It still feel like he didn't skip a beat. He looks great. He does not have the visceral. He does not. No. Tom Cruise looks great. And when you have these top actors, even with Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington, and Equalizer, it's always good to see our older acts still look like they haven't missed a beat. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to do anything with the story. It's just about how they look. You love to see them look well. Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise does not have the visceral nature that Keanu Reeves' movies does. This movie, I'll give a prime example. I'm not going to spoil none. This was in the trailer. We all saw the scene where he's elbowing the dude in the neck in the club. I said this last night. That's the hardest scene fight-wise in the movie. When I saw that trailer, I was like, oh shit. Like, you gotta keep in mind, when you watch a lot of movies and you see a lot of trailers, you know when the production house or whoever makes the trailers, you know when they're trying to convey a message to you. And when that trailer came out, for you to have 3 to 4 seconds of uninterrupted, it wasn't like a elbow next scene. It was I'm pounding this nigga with an elbow to the neck 4 times in a row. When I'm not bullshitting. Like, when you see that trailer, correct me if I'm wrong, did everyone, yes or no, feel like, oh shit, he about to be beating niggas ass this movie? Did you or did you not think that? You felt like
you talking about John Wick?
The trailer, just with the trailer. No. In the trailer with Mission Impossible. When he's elbowing a dude in the club. In the trailer, he was he was elbowing a dude in the club. When I saw that, I went, whoa, Tom Cruise, what he finna do? Like, I've always seen him as like a 007 type. I'm a sleuth, I'm a shoot, I'm a fight, I'm gonna get out of this, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna do some acrobatic shit. He's never, in Mission Impossible, he's never been the nigga to say, I'm about to fisticuffs beat this nigga ass. You've never seen that from Tom Cruise, for one. That's what I thought I was gonna get this movie.
I feel like you have.
No, not on the level of when you have movies like John Wick on the left of you releasing movies of him really beating niggas ass. You've seen the difference. I didn't get that from this movie, and like I said, this before I'm talking about the action, the story, the acting, just the fighting. This movie shows Tom Cruise looks good with action around him. Keanu Reeves looks good doing the action.
Yeah,
and this movie solidified that.
It didn't, because Tom Cruise looked great doing the action too.
Fam.
What do you mean?
Okay. Prime example.
Hold on. Watch the first 20 minutes.
Red Pig. Okay, Red Pig. Oh, I'm so.
see Tom Cruise as an American James Bond.
Hold up, Chop. Hold up.
Beat niggas ass and shooting them with an AK-47 and a pistol. I'm so lame ass.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Red Pig. Because you know what's so funny? Guess what other movie started out in the desert? John Wick.
Ooh.
Guess what other movie started out in the desert and the nigga was shooting niggas in the head, getting chased on horses? John Wick 4. And Okay, but let me tell you,
It was
bro.
lame when he did it, but it's
Mission,
cool. With you.
bro,
lame.
mission, bro. Tom Cruise, nigga.
Fuck,
Tom Cruise is in the desert. He running around. He put the horse on the side and laid in the sand. Nigga saw him from a mile away.
Fire.
Shot him with the binocular.
Fire.
Huh, bro? The scenes. He's literally the girl is doing more hardcore shit than he was in that scene. The girl was sniping niggas with an eye patch. The
There
nigga
was a
Tom Cruise running.
sandstorm going on.
Bro,
You ain't had no sandstorm going on doing.
Yes, you
John
did.
Wick shit.
Mantis actress.
Fam,
Asian girl.
Tom Cruise when Tom Cruise was shooting niggas, he was spraying the AK-47 like, get away from me. John Wick was headshot niggas on the back of a horse.
You know the point. The Asian
Like
girl.
what?
She had
Okay,
better,
and guess what? Ethan was hit. He's in a sandstorm,
Bro,
nigga.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this. Everyone else in Mission Impossible had better fight scenes than Tom Cruise, and that's a fact,
Cap,
nigga.
Cap.
That's a
Everybody had a good
fact.
fight.
I agree with
That's
that.
a fact, nigga.
The little Asian girl was
Beating ass, and it's another thing, bro. It's another thing. I haven't even gotten into how I feel about Tom Cruise, and I'm just saying, action alone. I'll give you this because I told you this last night. Mission Impossible has a better car chase scene. Facts. That's a fact.
It has a better everything.
No.
I mean, I know that's all it's
No.
good for. That's all they do.
Fam.
Use the pistol.
Bo.
Use that same pistol, nigga. He used a different gun. Like,
okay, how about this? I'm gonna say this.
Shotgun?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna stop talking about John Wick 4. Mission Impossible versus John Wick 4. Mission Impossible has a better car scene, and Mission Impossible has a better last 30 minutes. The last 30 to 35.
So you're saying most important part, it has a better
No, because the movie ain't done. It's part 1. I'm saying is
part one was very satisfying, and there's more satisfying ending than John Wick 4.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna finish my statement. The last 30 to 35 minutes of Mission Impossible was more enjoyable than the whole rest of the movie. John Wick 4, the entirety of the movie was more enjoyable to watch than the last 30 minutes. That's all I'm saying. The only thing Mission Impossible has in comparison to John Wick 4 is a better car chase scene and a better last 35 minutes. After that, the comparisons end. Let me go. You can tell me about it when you do your review. When you go into the acting, Tom Cruise. How can I say this? He's a good actor, like on a base level, right? We've never put Tom Cruise. He's a good action star. I should say that.
Yes.
We've never put him in the conversation of Johnny Depp, the other white actors, right? Johnny Depp, Leo, Brad. We never George Clooney. You never hear Tom Cruise's name in those ranks. But when it comes to action movies, Tom Cruise is that dude. You can't take that from him. So as an action star, we have to compare him to people like Vin Diesel, The Rock, or Jason Statham. Like there's an action.
Keanu Reeves.
Or Keanu Reeves, right? Tom Cruise is the best acting star that I think we have, in my opinion. There's no one else touching him acting wise, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Or anything
This movie, I don't even think his acting chops were put to the task because there were a few scenes where I felt like he could have given more, but I'm not mad at what he gave. For instance, in the trailer, remember that scene where he said, "If you touch her, there won't be anything else in this world that'll ever keep me away from stopping you." You know that scene I'm talking about when he in the club where he was like, and in the trailer, I was like, okay, I feel like this thing gonna be lit. But then when I watched the movie, I'm like, I feel like you could have put a little spit, nigga. I feel like you could have been like, I'm gonna kill. Like, I feel like you could have gave a little bit more. But in that scene, I'm in a suit. I'll tell you right now, there's not gonna be anything between you and I to get me to stop you. I'm like, okay, Tom Cruise, I get you. Like, I got it. You got it, bro. So he did what he had to do. What I liked most about his acting, when it comes to Tom Cruise's character, what's his name? Ethan. What's his name on here? Ethan Hunt. What I liked about this Mission Impossible was that they did the thing in the movies where the villain starts talking to the soul of the character. Gabriel said, no, that's what Ethan does. He makes you believe that he cares about you and that nothing else in this world will stop you, but he doesn't really give a fuck about you. It's about the mission. It's about him having his own pride and his commitment to himself to not let nobody get hurt. He don't give a fuck about you because if you get close to him, you're going to get hurt. Or, like, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. I like that. When he started breaking down Ethan as a character, I'm like, yeah, talk to that nigga
Yeah,
Saul.
nice.
Like he was Ether in that nigga. I thought that was fire.
Yeah, that was fire.
So I love that Mission Impossible did that. I love when movies take your hero as a viewer, the little hero you're talking about. I'm about to break this nigga down. I love when movies do that. So for the acting, I thought people did what they had to do. Sean Pegg or Sean Penn, what's the name?
Simon Pegg. Fire.
Simon Pegg. He did what he had to do. Great actor. I always love when I see
yeah.
him on the screen.
Put some respect on Simon Pegg. Every year.
What the fuck?
Put respect on Hot Fuzz.
Where did this nigga come from? Okay, Simon Pegg, he did what he had to do. Two things, right? Two things in this movie concerning Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg. No, just the acting in general, right? The way they shot this movie. I don't know if y'all noticed, but there were certain parts when it was dialogue that they would just slant the camera to the left or the right, like, and y'all know what I'm talking about? Like Bing Rames will talk, and then it'll go to Tom Cruise, and then the camera's like diagonal. I'm like, what the fuck is this 2005 at? But I get it. They need to make the shot feel different. They need to make. I know there's a science behind making the camera slanted or skewed is meant to make you feel more involved in the conversation, or that there's a dichotomy between the character of I'm juxtaposed. There's somebody that's gonna do a whole think piece on why camera shot like that. I get it. I'm not mad about that, but I just kept noticing. I'm just like, damn, nigga. Like every time Tom Cruise get on, it's like this action, Incredibles, fucking X-Spy family, dun-dun-dun-dun, like this camera angle. Why was everybody in this movie eyes teary as fuck? Did y'all notice that? Every scene.
Yeah, they did have like.
Their eyes was wet as fuck.
You know, crazy. I did notice that. That's crazy. You said that,
bro. I thought this nigga Ving Rhames was saying a joke. I'm like, this nigga about to cry. And I don't know if this is because it was shot during the pandemic, right? I'm wondering if this is because of like hand sanitizer, or because they had masks, or because they were just under direct. I don't know what it was, but this movie was really heavy on the close-ups, and I'm like, why is everybody eyes wet? What? It's enough to where if all four of us notice it, that was weird. Like, I wonder if they watched the movie, it was like, why is everybody eyes wet as fuck? But that's just little shit that I noticed. All in all, the movie was cool. I liked it. The story, I really fucked with the story. I thought it was creative. This movie did what it had to do. I mean, on one hand, it solidified that Keanu Reeves and John Wick series is a better spectacle when it comes to watching the fighting. But when it comes to the fighting, John Wick as a series is better to watch fighting. But scenes, the ending of Mission Impossible, this new one, that 35-minute ending with the ramp jump and everything that came after that, phenomenal. So, I mean, yeah, I still feel like John Wick is a better shot movie. I even said this when we reviewed it. There were scenes in John Wick 4 where if you just pause the screen, it looked like a picture. I still feel like John Wick is better stylistically. Everything up, if you put them films side by side, does feel that. Like I said, for side by side, the people that are filming John Wick 4, it truly feels like they are trying to make this look like it's a prettier movie. Yeah, but when it comes to set pieces, Mission Impossible definitely has the set piece battle over John Wick. That you can't. That
story allows for that. Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, it is. It has to, because Mission Impossible is literally the end of the world. John Wick 4 is just Keanu's story. It's just it's my. So you're only ever gonna see what I involve myself in. Mission Impossible. The stakes are always. It's not just me. Anybody on this train can get fucked up. Anybody on the earth is about to get fucked up. Entire countries about to get fucked up. So of course the stakes are higher, and because of that, they allot themselves bigger set pieces. And so, yeah, I think the end of that movie was chef's kiss. That was a joy to watch every minute of that. So I got to give him credit for that.
So real quick,
but yeah, that's pretty much my.
Yeah, I want to be real quick because I want Red Peg to give his thoughts. I just want to say real quick. You know, I gotta apologize to Mission Impossible. For a long time, I used to see these trailers, and I'd be like, "Man, that shit look like a just your typical ass action movie, corny." I'm not seeing that shit. That's how I felt for years. I can even remember back in 2011. So back in 2011, if y'all don't remember, 2011 there were a lot of MCU movies that came out. I think Captain America, Thor. Something else. Essentially, that summer I went to the movies a lot. Me and my grandma used to go to the movies during that summer because I didn't have school and she had the time off of work, and it was just like some shit. We would just spend time together. I remember going to the movies and seeing the trailer for Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible 4, and I was like, that shit look corny. Mind you, I was like 15. But anyway, long story short, I was never interested in Mission Impossible. Because of this new film, I was like, you know what? I want to go see this new movie. Let me dive into the older movies. Watch Mission Impossible 1 in the Discord. Mission Impossible 1, I ain't gonna lie, it's alright. It's okay. It's alright. Right? Mission Impossible 2, I cut it on. I got bored. I cut that shit off. I skipped it. I skipped Mission Impossible 3.
You skip.
But
That's the best one in my opinion.
no,
Hell nah.
this was crazy, Alex. Have you seen Mission Impossible
One
4?
of the best one.
Have you seen Mission Impossible 4?
Oh,
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen it in a
I'm
while.
telling you right now, I watched Mission Impossible 4 for the first time this past week. One of the most entertaining movies I've ever seen. I'm not saying best. Listen to my words. Entertaining. As soon as that movie cut on, nigga, I was entertained. That's when he's in the jail and they got to break him out. And then immediately they go to fucking Russia and they're infiltrating the Kremlin. Nigga, I pressed pause. So much had happened. The shit said I had only been watching for 23 minutes. I said, what the fuck? 23 minutes.
That's why I was telling you in my review that movie, Mission Impossible 4, is what put that shit like
it's so good. It's so good. There's no dull moments ever in that movie. It's good from fucking start to finish. Mission Impossible 4 is good as fuck. Okay? So I went from that. Then I watched Mission Impossible 5. I actually watched that last night. I thought it was good. Rogue Nation, I thought it was cool. It wasn't as good as 4 for me, but it was still good. I had fun watching that. And then I watched like half of Mission Impossible Fallout, the one that came out 2018. I saw the Halo jump stunt. That shit looked fucking insane. I really wish I would have saw it in the movie theater when it came out, but it still looked crazy on TV. So I say all that to say, I've gotten like a quick rundown of Mission Impossible the last week. So I went into this movie kind of off that high, and I saw this movie in Dolby. What's this shit called? Dolby Cinema. I didn't see it in IMAX. Saw it in Dolby Cinema. Immediately, the first impression in the Dolby Cinema theaters, they have these speakers that are like built into the chairs. Nigga, as soon as the movie starts, those speakers is kicking my ass cheeks. The shit is going boom, 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 boom.
Wow.
Bro, that shit was fire. That shit was fire. The speakers, the sound in this movie is fire. I'm gonna give my quick thoughts on what I liked about this movie. I really liked the acting from a lot of the side characters. Simon Pegg is phenomenal in this movie. Haley Atwell, she plays Grace in this movie. She's a thief. Haley Atwell, we've all seen her in Marvel. She was Peggy Carter, and then she became the Captain America variant in Doctor Strange. She's a great actress. Good milk. She did great in this movie. Her performance was really good. I also love to see the returning character, Ilsa. She showed up originally in Mission Impossible 5. She's been kind of blowing up lately. She's that actress. Her name is Rebecca Ferguson. She was in Dune. She's going to be in Dune 2. She also has a show on Apple TV called Silo that she plays the main character in, that she's really fucking good in. She's a great actress. So even though I love to see her return in this movie, one of the things that I did not like is how they handled her character. We'll get into spoilers later, but I felt like she was a little bit underutilized and kind of pushed out the way to make room for the new character, Grace. But that's just my feeling. But overall, I like this movie. I liked the stunt work is still top notch. Tom Cruise is doing some of the best stunts in movies today, period. As far as movies go with stunts, he's really only rivaled by John Wick and maybe Fantastic, the Fast and Furious. I mean, maybe those movies, but he's top of the line when it comes to stunt work. The nigga does his own stunts. That alone is fucking ridiculous, especially at his age. I agree with Alex. The car chase scene in this movie Though I think it went a little too long. This shit was long as fuck. But it was better than the car chase scene in John Wick. I agree with that. Speaking of side characters, the actress from Guardians of the Galaxy, her name is Palm Clementine or some shit. She plays Mantis in those movies. She plays like an assassin. She's like the villain's bodyguard in in Mission Impossible. She did really fucking good. She don't say much. She don't have that many speaking lines, but she does a lot of action, and she's really, really fucking good at it. To the point where she's rumored to be in one of James Gunn's upcoming DC movies. I think she'll make a really good superhero if she gets to do more action scenes. Because she didn't really have a lot of action in Guardians. Like, I don't know. She's not really like a fighter in those movies. So I don't know. We'll see. But overall, I like the stunt work, the acting I thought was good. I'm trying to think what else. The set pieces were phenomenal. The set pieces in Mission Impossible, like when people say like popcorn movies, this is like the poster. Mission Impossible movies are the poster child for that. These are movies that you go see on the big screen to just have a good time, right? This is a movie where you don't have to go in and try to be like overly critical. And that's not to say that there aren't things to critique. Of course there are. But at the end of the day, this is a movie where you can just sit back, watch it on the big screen, and have fun. And this movie did that for me. I saw it this morning, so I'm still kind of like fresh. It's just still fresh in my mind. I'll say what I don't like real quick, and then we can go to the next person. Some of the things I don't like. Me personally, I was not a big fan of the villain in this movie. I just wasn't. He wasn't bad, but the nigga didn't do much for me. They kind of forced this story about how Ethan knows him from the past because he killed somebody that Ethan loved, and so now he's coming back into his life. Ethan it's almost like a revenge low key, but Ethan's trying to fight against that. So the villain in the movie, he wasn't bad as far as his performance. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Overall, the story in this movie did not grab me. I thought it was a little too convoluted, and especially after coming off of, like, I literally just saw Mission Impossible 4.
Wait. Did John Wick story grab you?
Hold on. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that when we talk about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Having just seen Mission Impossible 4 like 3 days ago, that story is 10 times better than the story in this new movie. It just is. So without spoiling, because we'll get spoilers later. Essentially, the villain in this movie is a fucking AI. It's a computer AI called the Entity. And later, I ain't going to full spoiler. Just setting it up.
You just spoiled it.
That's not really a spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, nigga. It's
not in the trailer.
It's not a spoiler.
Not in any promotional material.
I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you no motives or nothing. All I said, the villain is an AI. Okay, the villain is an AI, and the secondary villain, the nigga. What's his name? What's the fucking nigga name? Don't nobody know his name. I just saw the movie. I can't tell his fucking name. Anyway,
I was muted. You said what?
Gabriel.
What's Gabriel? That's his name.
Yeah, Gabriel.
So Gabriel's kind of like, he's like the handler for this AI type shit. He's like the personification. He's doing the AI's work in the real world, but the AI is pulling the strings. The way they set up the story for this movie, I just was not feeling it at all. The story, I didn't like it. There's a lot of scenes in this movie that go on way too long. Which, for example, y'all know the scene where they're in they're in DC, and it's like all those CIA niggas, and they're talking. Nigga, they was talking for like 30 minutes. I don't know what the fuck they was talking about. It just felt like it dragged.
The CIA dudes talking for 30 minutes. You talking about when they was in the little workshop?
They was in that little office room. They was in that little conference room.
Wait, you didn't understand what they was saying?
Yeah, one time.
No, so
they was explaining what was going on.
Explaining, so you're being confused. Why the stakes are high?
If you listen to what they were saying, they was really explaining like the IMF. This is the IMF, and this is Ethan Hunt. It's almost like they're explaining shit for people who've never seen Mission Impossible. But it's not that I didn't necessarily understand it. I just think I didn't understand why it went on for as long as it did. That scene was long, bro. To the point.
This supposed to be why you watch movies with subtitles on.
It's not even, bro. It was when it's an action movie like this, and this is another reason why I think John Wick was better. There's when you have dialogue like this, you don't have to overstay your welcome. Say what you need to say, and get to the point. And that's not the only scene in this movie that I felt like that. There was a lot of scenes in this movie where they're talking or there's dialogue. This is not the kind of movie where I want to go in getting dialogue. This is an action movie. This is a popcorn flick. Give me the action. They spent a lot of time talking a lot with shit that didn't really need. It was just doing too much. But go ahead, Alex.
Well, I think they did that to give. I think they did all of that so that they could, in one full conversation, show you that Tom Cruise is above. Literally, he was like, "I'm the defense secretary, director of defense." Like, and I think they did all that to say, and it doesn't matter. IMF is above all of that. IMF answers to nobody because it's literally the impossible mission force. Like,
I get what they was,
and that's why he was. That's why he was like, so you mean to tell me out of the entire vast piece of our government, y'all let one nigga go do some shit and then come back and you hope that he gives you the time of day to come back and listen to you and he goes rogue and shit like that. And even in that conversation, this is spoiler talk, so mute me for the next 40 seconds. In the back of the room, Tom Cruise is in there.
Hold on, Larry. You ain't seen the movie? Larry?
In the back of the room, Tom Cruise is back there. And when he did the smoke bomb and all that, he was like, yeah, I know you wanted me to hear all that. I know you wanted me to hear how they don't really fuck with me. They don't like that I'm involved and I don't really have the backing. And like he said, I know you wanted me to hear that conversation. So, I mean, I think that whole point was just to give you a real sense of this is how the government views Tom Cruise. This is why he has a team of 5 or 6 people chasing him the entire movie, because he's not really, even though he's working for the government, he's not really working with us. If anything, he needs to be arrested. Like, I think that's what that was for. Otherwise, you would have been the whole time you would have been like, why the fuck it's like how I used to feel when I played Simpsons Hit and Run. I remember I used to play Simpsons Hit and Run, and I would be trying to do a mission to stop the aliens at the last of the movie. The last of the game, and the cops were chasing me because I was running over shit. And I remember as a kid, I was like, why are y'all chasing me if I'm saving the world? And this is what that felt like. This felt like if they didn't give that whole context as to they don't really fuck with him, the whole movie I would have been like, nigga, why are y'all chasing the same team?
Well, this is the thing, Alex. What you're saying is correct. I understand why they did it. Like I said, they know that a lot of people were going to see this movie that hadn't seen the previous ones. So they had to have a scene in there where they kind of explain what's the IMF, why are we tracking Ethan, why do we want Ethan. I get that. All I'm saying is I think it went on too long. That's all. I understood why they did it. I just think that scene went on too long to the point where, and before we started, I told y'all there was something that annoyed me when I went to go see this movie this morning. The nigga that was sitting directly next to me, for one, he was pissing me off. I hate niggas who come out the house drenched in cologne. Nigga, we don't care that you got fucking Axe chocolate. We don't give a fuck, okay? Put a couple spritz on your fucking wrist, on your neck, and go on about your day. Niggas who be drenching themselves head to toe in cologne. I smell your cologne when you walk past, when you sitting next to me. It's a salt in my nostrils. That shit was annoying. Second of all, the movie came on, nigga. As soon as they get to that scene where they start talking, this nigga is snoring. He's next to me snoring. He's asleep. He's knocked out. That's literally, keep in mind, that's like 15, 20 minutes into the movie. The nigga is asleep already. So he was pissing me off. So I think I was just annoyed by the fact that he was snoring. They was talking and it felt like forever.
Yeah, it'd be like
that. But yeah, Larry, you said you had a question? Go ahead.
Has everyone here seen the movie?
Yeah, we all saw it.
So it's just spoiler cast. So it's a spoiler cast.
Right, but Larry, what we do,
you niggas just talking about the movie, saying what's happening.
Hold on, real quick. Larry.
You are literally spoiling the fucking movie.
Larry, did you see the movie? Did you see the movie, Larry?
Talking about what's happening? No, I have not seen this movie.
Y'all can't talk
I thought you saw the movie. That's why I invited you.
This is why we don't add bananas to the podcast, nigga.
Okay, how about this, Larry? How about this, Larry? We finna get into spoilers, so you might want to hop out. You might want to mute, do something, because we about to get into spoilers. What we typically do is we intro the movie. Hold on.
Larry, we had 3 people speak about the movie with no spoilers.
Right, we typically intro the movie first with no spoilers, and then we go into spoilers afterwards.
Bro, you niggas can't do spoiler cast the weekend, like the weekend of the movie. The weekend of the movie. You're not even at home, nigga. Go.
Hey, Larry, did you
Drop off the side
Hold
of the
on,
road.
Larry. Hold on. What movies were you gonna come in and talk about?
I was just gonna come in and talk
about that.
Oh my god.
Okay, real quick.
What movie was he gonna talk about though?
I thought he saw
wondering
Mission Impossible. I thought he saw the shit. He didn't see the fucking movie.
Oh, so he was just vibing.
Yeah. Now, granted, Kiso saw it, but Kiso might be busy. I don't know where he at. But real quick, I'm almost done.
Damn.
I'm gonna let Red Pig talk. I know Red Pig got some shit off his chest. I just want to say real quick what I didn't like. Wasn't a fan of the story. Wasn't a fan of the villain. I thought it just out of all the villains in the previous movies, I wasn't really fucking with it. There were a lot of scenes, not just dialogue scenes, but even some action scenes that I felt went on a little too long, kind of overstayed their welcome. Like that car scene in Rome. It was a good scene, but it has so many different layers to it and different phases. They was in that car, it felt like for a fucking hour. Like,
they was definitely in there for like 20 minutes.
There's just some things, there's some pacing issues, I think, with this movie. And also, my last final comment, this movie did not need to be 3 hours. It did not need to be 3 hours. And it's not just this movie. There are a lot of this is a new trend nowadays with movies where directors don't know how to fucking cut shit out. Your movie does not need to be 3 hours, dog. What happened to fucking 2.5? Like, come on, what happened to the?
What do you think? What do you think started that? Was it The Irishman? Like, what was it?
I feel like you know what I feel like it is.
Why have people been like making long ass movies? Yeah,
you know what I feel like it is.
To make people come back to the theater.
So I think it's two parts. One, you're gonna always have your artsy directors like Christopher Nolan's, Martin Scorsese. Those niggas are heavy on story, and a lot of times they don't want to sacrifice story elements, so they keep shit in that makes the movie long. But when you have movies like this, where it's more of a spectacle movie, action, I feel like it's more of a we want to give people their money's worth. We want to get our money's worth, so we need to do a lot of action. We need to, you know, they add fluff essentially, especially with this being, you know, a part one of a part two Mission Impossible, and maybe even potentially the last Mission Impossible after part two. Who knows? I feel like in their minds, they're like, okay, we got to give the fans more. We got to give the fans more than we've done before. So they put a lot of extra shit in this movie that ultimately, in my opinion, some of it did not need to be there. This movie did not need to be 3 hours, but overall, I did enjoy the movie. I still, now keep in mind, I haven't seen Mission Impossible 2 or 3, but out of the ones that I've seen, Mission Impossible 4 is my favorite one still. I would put this one below Mission Impossible 4. Yeah, it was a good movie. I want to see part 2. After Red Pig gives his thoughts, we'll get into spoilers because there's some spoiler things I want to talk about. But Red Pig, if you're there, go ahead and give your thoughts on this movie, man.
Hold on, did Tyrek talk about it? Right?
Yeah, he did.
All right. Hold on. Oh, wait. We'll talk about some shit right quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. Hold on.
So Red Pig, need a minute. I'm gonna say this while he doing that. Real quick, I want to say, because we mentioned it, I do like John Wick 4 more than Mission Impossible. I do like John Wick 4 more. One of the things, and I said this before in the Discord, I think, and y'all can tell me in the chat what y'all think. Me personally, I think Tom Cruise is clearly the better actor, and he's better with stunts. Partly because he does his own stunts, and also because the niggas that he works with, like stunt wise, they come up with some crazy shit. But on the flip side, I think Keanu Reeves is better when it comes to martial arts, you know, hand-to-hand combat scenes, and also gunplay. The shooting in John Wick is way more exciting to watch than the shooting in Mission Impossible. The same thing with the hand-to-hand combat. Tom Cruise gets busy in this movie with the hand-to-hand combat. A few scenes.
Yeah, he definitely do it. Exactly.
Granted, the Asian girl that's in Guardians of the Galaxy, she was kicking ass this movie. You know, she was going crazy. I think Keanu Reeves is better with the hand-to-hand combat than martial arts.
That girl was the Mantis?
Yeah, that's her. That's Mantis.
Oh, okay. I thought she looked familiar. Okay, I didn't know that.
So if we comparing, I think they both had their strengths. Keanu Reeves is better with hand-to-hand combat, gunplay. Tom Cruise is a better actor and a better stuntman. That's my opinion. They have their own strengths.
Oh,
I think she looked like she sound before Rabbit start. The Mantis actor Palm. I feel like she would have been a good John Wick, like in that she could insert in John Wick universe and she'd be all right. Y'all don't think so?
I think she
Yeah,
would fit just
yeah.
well. I mean, he already had some women in there that was kicking ass though, didn't he? In John Wick 4?
He
Am I
had that
tripping?
Asian girl, Rina Samayawa. She played the nigga's daughter, Japanese nigga daughter.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah, I mean that's probably why you feel like that because we already had an Asian. We already had one in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, bro? One thing I noticed: action movies love putting an Asian woman in a movie that's gonna kick everybody ass, even though she weighed 50 pounds.
Yeah,
They love doing
they
that.
do that a lot. They've
Boy.
been doing that since like the 90s. They've been doing that a lot. It's
No,
like,
that's a
Man,
fair point.
it's always a tiny. That's a fact. It's always a tiny Asian woman beating everybody ass. Shout out Kill Bill. Shout out Charlie's Angels.
Red Peg, go ahead and getting it back.
All right.
Getting it big.
I want to say, from the moment the movie started, I was like,
Hold on, you eating
borderline,
Pizza
I was
Hut,
like,
nigga, on the mic? What you doing?
This
My
nigga eating a
bad.
hot dog to act like he back in the movie theater.
Actually, it's a Cajun quesadilla, but I'll show you a picture later. From the
Cajun
moment this movie
quesadilla.
started, right? From the moment it started, this is cinema, nigga. Nigga, when a Mission Impossible,
This is cinema as soon as it started.
Nigga, when that I'm like, oh,
That's definitely one of the best that's one of the best theme songs in all time, I think.
You know what's crazy
of all
about that
time.
theme song? There's niggas who know that theme song that have never seen the Mission Impossible movie or the original TV show. You know the original TV show from the 60s.
It's like some spy movie or something, like some spy action movie shit.
Yeah.
That's some timeless shit.
This movie,
Yeah, that shit fire.
This movie, when you look up summer action blockbuster, nigga, you're gonna see this movie pop. You're gonna see Mission Impossible pop up, nigga. This movie is fucking fire, nigga.
Hold on, breaking news, Red Pig.
On the action side.
Breaking news, Red Pig. Shout out to Delayed Saint. He in the chat. I just saw your retweet, brother. Bruce Straley. He used to work for Naughty Dog, and he co-wrote and co-developed Uncharted. Look what he just tweeted, Red Pig. He tweeted Mission Impossible side by side with Uncharted 2. He said the sincerest form of flattery.
Yes, bro. I told you. Anyway, we'll get to that when he gets to that part.
Yeah. Now this is summer blockbuster, nigga. This movie, despite what it might not be as pretty as John Wick 4, it's beautifully shot. Anybody, if y'all ain't see this, bro, go see this in IMAX or Dolby Cinema, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna get like a crazy, like the minute the movie starts, you're gonna feel it, like it's fire. Tom Cruise, he like 60 years old, bro. He went crazy in this movie. Good actor, shits on anything Keanu Reeves would do if he was in the same position.
The movie started with him getting an Uber Eats in a dark corner of a closet. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, trying to have a more, comedic time than
bro, that
Keanu
nigga came out
right?
of the nigga came out of the shadows and said, "What's the passcode?" Nigga said this is cinema. And then the nigga didn't even know what to say. He's like, you're supposed to say this. And he's like, I'm like, what the fuck? Well, go ahead.
Yeah, then the little So, the story. I thought the story was way more interesting than anything in John Wick 4. Honestly, it's like a big story. The stakes are big. Like with the submarine and all that shit. What else? Oh, the practical effects is a great mix of CGI and practical effects. You can't really tell what's CGI in this movie.
They blend it really well.
Yeah, it's blended really well.
They do. I didn't really notice.
The only thing I could tell was CGI was really that ramp scene because I seen the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So if I didn't see that, I would probably thought he really jumped off the fucking lid. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, the practical effects, CGI, all that shit, just the special effects in general in this movie, outstanding. It should win an Oscar for it, honestly. If you see any of the other Mission Impossible movie, you got to see this one. Yeah, I thought it had great humor, pathos. The action was fire, nigga. The drama was fire, nigga. With your girl fighting on the bridge, like, oh shit, I don't know what's gonna happen, Nigga, the villains is fire, nigga. They had many exotic locations, nigga. Like it's really felt like a globe tried in like story. Like they travel the world trying to save the world, trying to stop them from getting this dangerous AI, which is, in my opinion, very is like it feels relevant in today's society, the AI shit. So that's one good thing about the movie. I gave this movie a 9 out of 10. Why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10? I gotta agree with Wonton. the exposition that it wasn't boring, but it was kind of long. You know,
It's just long-winded. It's just a little long-winded.
Yeah. So that's probably why I wanted to give it 10, but I couldn't.
I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
How do you feel like the club scene versus John Wick 4's club scene?
Oh my god, I'm glad you brought that up. I was not. That's another scene. That's another scene, Alex. Where I felt like, okay, wrap it up. That shit was that club scene in Mission Impossible was kind of like.
I thought it was
both
cool.
of them.
It was lacking.
Both
It was
was
bro.
cool.
Both
both
movies.
I think visually, John Wick 4 did it better.
The John Wick was better, bro. They was playing cars. They was playing blackjack or something. Like,
and they was there for a minute. Bro, but no, the club scene in John Wick 4 was long too. It just
yeah,
didn't
but
feel
it was more tense too.
It was no. The one in John Wick 4 was like 30-20 minutes. This one wasn't that long. It was like maybe 10 minutes, and most of it was them chasing, running around in Italy, him getting the wrong directions and shit, right?
You talking about Venice,
yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't really that long, but I get the comparisons.
Okay, so
the club scene in John Wick was better to me. Go ahead.
2-second questions. Like you said, Red Pig, the action is good in here.
Yeah.
And this will be my last comparison to John Wick. John Wick, I feel like, and I think we said this during the movie review, the story is the characters. And Mission Impossible just has a better overall story as far as like the stakes. You see what I'm saying? Because I remember when we reviewed it, we were saying our favorite part about, because you were saying like the John Wick 4 story is ass. It was like, yeah, I mean, it's just bounty hunters, but you're there for the characters, like the blind dude, the cowboy western dude, the Keanu Reeves, the hotel owner and his handler, the father and his daughter. Like, you there for the characters. The story is just gonna be what it is. But I do want to say this.
But you can argue, for the characters for Mission Impossible too. This is a great supporting
because they've been there. Yeah, because they've been there for a minute.
Right.
Do y'all feel like the movies are starting to run together? And I ask because of this. The actor that played the dad in John Wick 4, he was like a samurai looking dude, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he also in wasn't he also in Bullet Train as a nigga with a sword?
He was in Bullet Train, yes.
But no, they been doing this as the samurai.
Now
he was also in Mortal Kombat, the last one. He played Scorpion.
Now, this is what I'm look at the parallels I'm drawing. You have the same dude playing a samurai, right? Now, the people that did Bullet Train, I think they were from John Wick, right? The writers or the directors or something. They did John Wick as well, didn't they? Or am I tripping?
I think so. Same producer.
I think some people from the John Wick team did the Bullet Train scene.
Or was it Deadpool?
Okay.
One of them shits.
Maybe it's Deadpool. Well, either way, he plays that. John Wick 4 Mission Impossible started out with a desert chase scene. And then there's a club scene. And then now the ending of Mission Impossible is the train. And we've said, like, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm seeing the same fucking set pieces and like locations in the past 3 to 4 action movies. I feel like I'm seeing the same shit over and over again.
Well, I mean, it's like the same. It's a Bullet Train, I guess. I get what you're saying, but it's different.
But even with like, the fucking desert, I'm like, what? We just saw this. We just saw Nick chase the horses.
Then there's a Europe set piece.
Then the club scene. Europe set piece.
Well,
we just saw
the clubs. That's honestly two complete different scenes.
But I'm just saying, like, okay. 2 movies in the same year, of course, they have different productions. Of course, they not looking at each other and saying, okay, start. Both of us make a movie at the same time. But, I mean, it still stands. John Wick 4 came out this year. There was a desert scene, a club scene, and now we Mission Impossible, a desert scene, a club scene. And I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing, I don't know.
It's like in video games. You know how we got everything's built together? Eventually, all media.
It's kind of like ice levels with you.
It's just going to start melding together. And just the way things are now, like the movie industry has been around forever. Things are just going to start. It's like books.
I wonder if it's because I wonder if the pandemic had anything to do with that. Like, because the world was shutting down, they had to go to the desert to do shit, or they had to go, into a club. I don't know. I was wondering if
got delayed. A lot of these movies were supposed to come out years ago. And then
okay.
So it's just like 3 years ago, this would have been cool to us because we just didn't experience. But it's like we watched Tenet. Tenet had a fucking desert scene. We watched another movie.
Yeah, it did.
It's like if you didn't see Tenet in 2020, but you saw that shit in 2018, it probably
You'd be
doesn't
like,
bother-
damn, another desert scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nigga, Top
So
Gun was supposed to come out in 2018. Then they got pushed 2019. Then 2020. And then they pushed it again because of COVID. And I read that this movie, Mission Impossible, was supposed to come out in 2021. That's what I
it's
read.
supposed to come years ago.
Yeah.
So they're pushing it back. Same thing with Top Gun Maverick. So it's just like these movies are just coming out back to back now.
It's
Like
just coincidence, yeah.
John Wick came out what? 3 months ago?
Yeah, it came out like
Was it?
February.
April, right? So
April.
it
Yeah,
came
it
out
was
3 months ago, and we got another blockbuster movie 4 months later. That usually doesn't happen like that. Usually, you don't get a Mission Impossible movie and another crazy movie like this in the same year. Usually, you get one or two, and they're like beginning of the year and end of the year. This is 2 summer, spring blockbusters really close to each other. They're gonna be similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What I want to say. Also, nigga, the airport scene I thought was fire. A lot of mystery, a lot of shit was going on. That was very, very tense, nigga. Had you on the edge of
Yeah,
your
that was a
seat.
cool
I
moment
liked
at the
it.
airport.
I like the glasses and all that shit. No bullshit tuxedos that reflect bombs and shit. That was pretty. Yeah. Also, I gotta agree with Alex, nigga. That last 30 to an hour. The last hour, nigga. Fire, nigga. Fucking fire. The him trying to get on the plane, then train, and they sabotaging with the bike scene. Also, yeah, the nigga John Wick went. Can we talk about that chase scene too? I don't know if any of y'all seen Fast X, but it looked very similar to the one that happened in Fast X, and it did it better than Fast X. So, this movie is fire. That train scene, oh my god, Alex, you should have seen that shit in Dolby, nigga. The whole time, seat shaking.
Yeah, we don't have that in Little Rock, bro. We just don't have it.
Nigga, that shit, Dolby, seeing this in Dolby, it's pretty, and then the sound, oh my god, nigga. But yeah, we gotta give Tom Cruise his props, because Keanu Reeves will never jump off a mountain, nigga. He will only give y'all onboard executions at 1.5 speed. My bad, 0.5 speed.
You a hater, bro. You a hater.
Y'all eat it up each time. I don't know how many times you can see a nigga shot in the head and flick back, so many times. Tom
You're
Cruise.
You're right. Instead, I'd rather watch Tom Cruise run a literal 3 miles on screen, and then just to show that what
in every movie, mind you, in every Mission Impossible movie,
just to show that the performance suits he's wearing is probably a brand deal.
You could say it. You hear me saying it already, but just what Tom Cruise was running, jumping, shooting, doing all this. All Keanu Reeves was doing was what, fucking what, onboard.
Nigga, he was doing 5 different types of martial arts.
Yeah, he was doing
limping.
You know what's annoying about the John Wick stuff?
Nigga was doing jujitsu, karate, kung fu. He was doing all types of.
He said, "Okay, we're gonna talk about that nunchuck scene if we were talking about karate."
Y'all only ever bring up the nunchuck. There was a whole movie of fighting. Y'all keep bringing up the nunchuck scene.
Yeah,
and also on top of that, hold on, y'all gonna piss me off, bro. The nunchuck scene was supposed to be there for comedic value. That was supposed to be funny.
No,
that wasn't supposed to be. Yes, it was.
No.
He's literally nunchucking niggas in the nuts.
Okay.
He was Okay, am I tripping, y'all? Nunchucking a nigga in the nuts. Was that not supposed to be like, what the fuck?
It looked crazy and stupid is for comedic value.
I laughed when it happened. I thought it was always meant to be.
It's supposed to have comedic value. The Mission Impossible does the same thing. They have
funny.
moments of comedic values. It's normal for an action movie.
Yeah, there has to be some moments to make you not just enjoy the fighting, but it's supposed to make you laugh. You're like, oh shit, because fighting is supposed to be sloppy. It's not always meant to be perfectly hitting, crouching tiger.
That's
all of us are blocking every hit. Like, that gets boring. You have to have some pitfalls in the fight sequence to make it feel believable to a degree. Like, there was a time where in the Mission Impossible when they
believable in fighting, dang, it don't go.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like in Mission Impossible when they was in the alleyway and he was literally fighting both of them, he literally was fighting them and then he tripped and fell into the gate. And then there was one where he tried to run away, nigga pulled him right back down by his little butt. Like, yeah, every movie has those parts where it's meant to make someone laugh or be like, yep, you weren't about to get away with that, or yeah, you fucked up. Like, but I think Tick brought up that nunchuck scene as well. Like, why are y'all married?
Yeah, because
there was a whole 2 hours and 20 minutes of scenes of fighting before that. And after that, like, what?
It looked crazy. I'm telling you. But
You had a blind nigga beating niggas ass and shooting niggas and putting claymores all over the place. But y'all like, but what about that nunchuck scene? It's just not believable. Like, what the hell?
no, it was at the blind nigga. He was using his sense. It was more believable than what he did with them nunchucks.
Right, a blind
Yeah,
putting Band-Aid C4 on a kitchen wall and saying yoo-hoo, and then shooting a nigga with
yes, he can hear you.
and he could just aim and shoot it. That was more believable than Keanu Reeves. That was more believable than Keanu Reeves saying, "Nigga, stop fighting me. I'm about to hit you in the nuts, nigga. Stop getting up." That's more believable than that, bro.
Yes.
Eat my ass. Eat my ass. Yeah. I don't believe you.
Anyway, yeah, this movie solidified why Tom Cruise shits on Keanu Reeves in every facet, form, acting, action, fighting, gunplay, just everything. Tom Cruise, my bad, Ethan used more than a pistol and a shotgun.
He used some AR. He used some Microsoft glass. He used a little. He used the HoloLens. He used the HoloLens.
Yeah, John Wick didn't even do that. My bad. You mad he didn't use a tuxedo?
John Wick did use assault rifles.
Yeah, he did.
He used bro. You know what's the difference? You know what's the difference? You know what's the difference between John Wick and fucking Mission Impossible? John Wick has guns that when we went to the shooting range in Texas, he said, "Oh, this is the John Wick gun." When we went to the shooting range, nigga, they make Mission Impossible.
Yeah, because he mainly used one gun. Boring.
You know what Tom Cruise do? Tom Cruise make aviator sunglasses popular. John Wick make a fucking pistol brand popular, nigga. People want the John Wick pistol. They don't want no fucking aviators that he wore in Top Gun, nigga. There's a difference. There's a difference in taste making. One is about fashion. Yeah. Like I said, Tom Cruise looks good in action. One's about fashion. One's about actually using his fucking pistol, nigga. And that's why John Wick is better in the action scene. Talk about it, nigga. We known for different shit. Listen. It'd be like basketball, right? It'd be like this. We play basketball. Red Peg always look good with the Wilson basketball, but Alexander, look at the shoes he wearing. Look at what he doing in these. Yeah. That's just a difference, bro. You look good with a ball in your hands. I look good doing shit. You feel me? There's just a difference.
No, because Tom Cruise could do everything he do and better. So yeah,
never,
he's a better actor.
Never. I'll tell you, he faster. That's why you. Hold on, that's why you like to. That's why. So you like.
He actually does his own stunts. He don't use
You know what? I hate when Red Peg get his hair done because he act like you can't tell him nothing. You know why you like Tom Cruise?
Nothing you can tell me is that Keanu Reeves is not fucking
so you like Tom Cruise because Keanu Reeves is pigeon toed. That's why you don't like when you see him run. That's why you like Tom Cruise better.
What? I mean, he look old as fuck. Tom Cruise don't look old, nigga. You supposed to believe me that
Tom
old
Cruise,
nigga,
bro. Tom Cruise got a goddamn. Tom Cruise got a goddamn beach body, white old man beach body. Like what?
Tom Cruise is like the same size as you and Tick, nigga, and he scared me, nigga.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Nigga, like
Tom Cruise looked like a nigga named Ethan. Keanu Reeves got the body of a nigga called Baba Yaga. You feel me? Tom Cruise look like a nigga wearing a suit. Hey, Keanu Reeves look better in a suit too. Keanu Reeves look better in a suit too.
Intimidate me, nigga. He look like
Keanu Reeves to get a camera. Oh my god! And let me hold on. Let's talk about it. You know who really about that shit? Keanu Reeves actually does martial arts in real life. Keanu Reeves actually shoots guns in real life. Keanu Reeves actually has a Keanu Reeves actually has a motorcycle company in real life. Tom Cruise got on that motorcycle and looked scared as fuck. Tom Cruise got on the motorcycle and looked scared as fuck.
Driver, nigga. He could drive any car in the world.
Hey, Redback, you know what the difference is? If the competition was wearing skinny jeans, you might have something to say about this. I actually had a motorcycle. I know what it feels like to drive a motorcycle. I was looking at that nigga looks shaky on that fucking motorcycle. That's just what it is. What it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Keanu Reeves driving motorcycles off a fucking mountain. Is he?
I'm talking about the European scene. 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 I'm talking about the European scene when he was riding around in that little police escort bike and he had that little two-piece vest on. That nigga did not look that comfortable.
He was going crazy.
You feel me?
He was going crazy.
Yeah, but you know who ride motorcycles day to day and have their own company and an entire community that wants a Keanu Reeves motorcycle?
He looked fucking crazy.
Because he pigeon-toed. Keanu Reeves is I just want to see Keanu Reeves do shit, bro. I'm sorry. He's just better in doing the action.
People want to see Tom Cruise do shit.
You know what, Redback?
Listen, not only that. Listen, Mission Impossible did it without having to be rated R. It didn't have to be rated R to do.
And that's where it fell short. Oh, quick question for the room. Did y'all see any? Quick question for the room.
No blood.
200 points to anybody that saw a speck of blood in that whole movie.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
we
blood.
did,
None.
A lot of the deaths occurred like off screen when they cut away. I mean, other one he like slit the dude's throat in the train. Other than that,
he was bleeding. Yeah,
that was it.
Guess what? It didn't need that. It didn't need that, and it was still a great
Oh, it
movie.
didn't need that. Okay, this is the thing. You gotta.
But at the same time, it's still when you have other movies that are taking the extra step. Maybe I get why they always mention PG-13, so it's like why change it now?
Tyree, I got a question for you. Okay, it's a two-part question, right? If you need a white man with a tomato red face and veins popping out of his nose to hang on to the end of a train, you'd probably want Tom Cruise to do that over Keanu Reeves, right? Because you think Tom Cruise is gonna be better with the face acting, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna make.
emotion.
I agree. I'm gonna
Like, he
make
has a
such a
family,
good
right?
comparison.
Right?
Ooh, when I make this comparison, you gonna shit. All right. So, hanging from a train in my best Uncharted 2 outfit from the Mission 4, I'm going to hang from this train. I might choose Tom Cruise because not only is he petite and he's small and he can fit in the camera, I think he'd hold on pretty well. Now, the scene when they were on top of the train, did you see Tom Cruise's face when he was trying to stab that nigga in the neck? I literally laughed in the movie. That nigga was like, did you see that nigga face when he was trying to put the knife into his neck? Did y'all see his face? That nigga face looked like...
I didn't find anything funny.
Bro, I can't wait till that movie come to streaming because I'm going to have us all sit down and skip and watch that 40 seconds. Tom Cruise's face of trying to put that knife in that nigga neck, that was the most
Look believable, right?
No, it didn't.
Right? It
didn't. It looked like in real life he was like, I just can't get it to your neck. Like that nigga looked terrible. If Keanu Reeves was on that, Keanu Reeves would have kissed that nigga on the forehead and cut that nigga neck off, nigga.
Yeah.
Bro.
Brother.
When it come down to the I need to take a life, Tom Cruise is not the face I want to do that with. When it comes to, man, I got a damsel in distress and my little wrists are about to give out, I might have Tom Cruise do it. That's just the end of the day. And when y'all go see Mission Impossible, for anybody watching this, when you see Mission Impossible and you get to that scene where they're on the train and the one speck of blood that we see the entire movie other than when he slit that nigga throat, when you go to that movie and you see him put that blade to that nigga neck and he's like, Ethan, don't, we need him alive. He's like, that's how that looking at him, bro. It's corny. And that's just not the face I want.
It's like some
cheesy
cheesy action movie shit, like some,
that's not the face I want the helm of action sequences, bro. That's not the face for it, bro. It is what it is. Yeah.
One thing I'll say these movies,
all that didn't mean shit, nigga. To Tom Cruise, it's still better in every way, nigga. All that shit you talking,
I hate
it better, nigga.
I hate when I hear Red Pill kick his little legs up. I hate when he do that shit.
That's what Tom Cruise said more than nigga. He had me more on the edge of my seat than I was the whole time in John Wick 4, nigga. Actually, nigga, I was happy when he died at the end, nigga. Cause guess what? It was getting ridiculous, nigga. It was getting ridiculous, nigga. And he finally died, nigga. But guess what, nigga? Ethan Hawke, he ain't gonna die, nigga.
Hold on. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out right now. You was talking a lot about John Wick being ridiculous. The shit he getting away with is crazy. Nigga, I watched Tom Cruise get hit by a fucking freight train, and the nigga somehow survives. He was in, bro.
Get hit by a freight
bro.
train. He got out the car. He got out with the steering wheel.
He was inside of a.
I know what scene you're talking about.
He was trapped inside of a fucking tuna can Fiat. The nigga got hit.
Same thing.
The nigga got hit.
I was like,
he miraculously out the car.
He got out with the steering wheel, so it was believable, nigga.
Okay, hold on. It was believable. Okay, let's say you do that shit. Okay, look. Then before that,
I'm not Ethan. I don't
before
have
that,
Ethan guy.
And you'll never be that white man.
Before that though,
you'll never
he's driving in the streets of Rome.
Stop trying to.
The nigga drives off
you
a
fucking. Be a white man with long black hair, nigga, that limp and walk.
I am.
Like, what?
I am.
I mean, you're a half white man.
A dick in his butt. Wait, what? Where did the dick come from? What the hell? The hell? You want to beat me so bad. That's the crazy part. You want to beat me. You want to beat, bro. You want to beat me.
This nigga Tom Cruise drove off a balcony. The car flipped 20 times. You ain't see no scratches, no broken
on the
limbs.
car. Yeah, no.
All you see is he switched seats with the girl next to him. So I'm just saying,
but I thought those were kind of funny. I like that chase scene when they kept switching.
I'm not even complaining about that. I'm just saying Red Pig called out one movie for that type of shit, but he don't call out this movie.
That's not as nearly as bad. That's not as nearly as bad getting hit by 20 cars.
They all got some fantastical shit in it.
A tuxedo.
Red Pig. I just feel like you unfair to John Wick. This is the thing. If you like Mission Impossible more,
beautifully shot movie.
Hold on, but look, if you like Mission Impossible more, that's cool. But you be shitting on John Wick unfairly.
No. Y'all making me do that. I think John Wick 4 is a great movie.
We make you shit on John Wick.
No, bro. We ain't make you do shit.
8 out of 10. That's a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay.
But y'all niggas dick eat John Wick 4 like it's
You're dick eating me?
Hold on. John Wick 4 8 out of 10. What's this movie out of 10?
This movie is one of the greatest action movies ever made, nigga.
Wow.
Whoa, hey, in the stream.
You are fucking insane.
Guess what? Part two is gonna raise the
bar. It might be better, but you tripping.
And not only that, for another part, nigga, this movie ended on a very satisfying note, nigga. Tom Cruise went out his way and made sure that the audience left satisfied, nigga. Did you leave satisfied watching John Wick 3 or 4, nigga? No, you didn't, nigga.
Yeah, I did. I actually came in here. And shed tears about it.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Tyreek, what did you say about the critics?
No, so I think a lot of the critics did say that this is. I mean, I don't really agree with them, but a lot of them say this is like one of the best action movies ever.
They said the same thing. They said the same thing about John Wick 4.
That's the thing. And I'm like,
they did.
When I left the movie theater, for sure, my first impression was like, no, John Wick 4 is definitely a better movie. And I was like, let me give it 2 days to like, simmer. And I'm like, no, John Wick is definitely the better movie because I remember leaving the movie and I was like, damn, I can't wait to do the podcast with this shit. I can't wait to talk about it. This is when I was like, all right, I can wait a couple of days and talk about it. But that John Wick movie, I texted the Discord chat like immediately. I'm like, bro, y'all need to go watch this movie right the fuck now. Like I watched it the day it came out. And I was like, I need to watch it again. And I was like, I didn't have that feeling with Mission Impossible.
That's how I am with Mission Impossible. I want to go watch it again.
No, I'm good. I'm good with
Mission Impossible and Miles Morales is the two movies that made me want to be like, damn, I think I should go
I have fun with this movie, Mission Impossible. I had fun, but I have no interest in rewatching this movie. I do want to see the next one, part 2, but like this one watch was enough for me. I'm satisfied.
John Wick 4, I had to watch it again just because I was like, damn, look at the dragon breath scene. I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times. Like when I bought the digital version, I literally just went to that part and was like, let me watch this shit again. Mission Impossible doesn't have those scenes for me where I'm like, oh, I need to go back and watch this scene.
The last 30 minutes is rewatchable. And you just gotta watch that one.
No, that's not a whole. That's more than a scene, bro. That's like 3 or 4 scenes at that point.
That's more rewatchable part.
Like that John Wick, over the Hotline Miami camera view, that was iconic.
Okay, you know what? That's a good segue, Tyrek. Since we're talking about these two movies, I want y'all to think about this. John Wick's Hotline Miami twin stick shooter scene versus Mission Impossible's Uncharted 2 train scene. What do y'all feel like was the better section?
Listen, I would say that visually, like with the camera work and shit, how it's shot, I would give it to John Wick. John Wick 4 off the visuals, but like off entertainment, like watching it with the train and him jumping off the cliff, all that leading up to that, easily Mission Impossible.
See, my thing is, I feel like this is the thing. Playing it as Uncharted is better than watching it. I appreciated. I appreciated them including in the movie because most people, if you're not a gamer, you're not going to record. The only thing, my mom, she's watching it right now, and I think she just texted me and she was like, "Yo, this is like Uncharted," because Uncharted is one of the games she actually sat down and watched me like play from beginning to end, and that's one game she always remembers. So she was like, "The train shit is from Uncharted." I'm like, "Yeah." So I feel like you know the game, yeah, it's cool. I feel like with John Wick, you don't even have to know that's from Hotline Miami. You just know that fucking angle and that scene is like amazing. This, I think you only will get it if you played Uncharted. And a lot of us in here, of course, we did because we're gamers too. But I feel like for the majority of the audience, they're like, "Oh, cool, a falling down train scene," and they're probably not even thinking of Uncharted. Uncharted's a big franchise. I don't think most people understand. Yeah. Like this game came out 2009, so I don't think people really putting that to form. And even an Uncharted 4 scene with the APC that they pulled from this movie too. 'Cause I feel like people are kind of downplaying it. Look, people know the train scene from Uncharted 2 more, but the APC scene in Rome is the same
That's
shit.
like the
When
Lost Legacy shit.
So in Africa, was it Africa? Yeah.
I think Mission Impossible took more from Lost Legacy, that Lost Legacy train scene than Uncharted 2's train scene.
I can see that fighting on top of the train.
With the explosion,
Yeah.
but the hanging off thing is definitely like, look at the cover of Uncharted 2. That's literally the cover of Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
So I do think that even though Uncharted 2 is like, of course, one of the greatest games ever, I do feel like the way John Wick pulled it off, you didn't have to be a gamer to appreciate that. Where I feel like you had to be a gamer to appreciate what happened in Mission Impossible. Both great. I can't really say which one's better than the other's preference, but watching that in John Wick, people were like fucking screaming in the theater when the John Wick shit happened. People were like, oh shit. I didn't really hear that. I was just in my brain like, oh, yes, Uncharted is pretty cool.
Nigga, when that ramp scene came up, people was like, "Oh my god!" Like, yeah, man, it was crazy.
Yeah,
but we all saw that in the trailer. Like,
yeah,
we didn't see the train and all that shit.
They did it in like another director's cut, director's cut diary where they showed the stuff already. So I'm like, they
showed how they did it. So even when you watched it, like, remember when you said, oh, well, of course you knew how the CGI was because you saw how they did the ramp scene. Yeah. They should have done that after the movie came out. Like, they were doing so much promo.
Yeah, that scene was a big selling point of the movie.
Nigga, that was the promo. The entire movie's promo was the ramp scene that Tom Cruise actually did. That was the entire promo run.
Yeah,
and the entire movie, the entire year.
In the movie though, so
already. So like,
they've been doing they've been doing a press run for Tom Cruise's jump from that scene since the first trailer. He did that, right? That was every trailer. This is real, right? And then they try to do like a little petty when the movie first started. Hey, you're about to watch Mission Impossible. We just want to thank you, the moviegoers.
He does that for every movie.
Oh, he does? Okay.
Yeah,
nigga. So he did it for Top Gun too, nigga.
He did that because of the.
Oh, he did that for Top Gun?
For the streaming thing, because everyone is like, you know how Warner Brothers started putting everything during streaming during COVID. So every Tom Cruise movie that's come out, he's just like, thank you guys for coming to the movie theater and watching it the way it was meant to be watched in the theater versus watching it at home.
Yeah. I get why you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. This movie was enjoyable. It's not a lot of bad things about it, but it wasn't anything particularly great to me. Where I'm like, damn, I'm gonna watch. I can't wait for it to come. I'm not buying this movie on digital. I bought John Wick.
I don't have to see that. Yeah. I don't have to see this movie.
If they do a 2-pack, I might get a 2-pack depending how good the second one is.
Like John Wick, I bought the entire collection. Like, again, because of John Wick 4. I literally bought all 4 movies on digital, even though I already own or streamed, like, the streaming service. I already got the streaming service right. I bought this shit again. So yeah, great movie though. Love it.
Love it to death.
Yeah, one of the movies of the year.
I agree. I just don't know, man. People saying it. I think for me, my final thoughts on this movie. Well, let me go back to something I said earlier, and this is a spoiler. So if you haven't seen the movie, tune out for like maybe 5 minutes, real quick. I'm about to just go over something I had an issue with. In watching these last few Mission Impossible movies over the past week, one thing I've noticed, they always introduce a new female character / love interest and then kind of push out the previous one. And I don't really like how they do that. Because some of them are really
every movie.
Wait. His girlfriend was a love interest.
That's not his love interest.
I said / love interest. They're not all love interests. Some of them are. Some of them aren't.
He's just talking about.
I'm just talking about
the lead woman that they really care for.
Exactly. They're bringing a woman and push out the previous woman. I don't really like how they do that because some of these women they bring in are really fucking good. Like, for example, Mission Impossible 4, they have Paula Patton. Paula Patton is not like a big name actress for real. Most people only know her for being with Robin Thicke. But she was good as fuck in Mission Impossible 4. She actually surprised me. I was like, wow, she's actually really good in this movie. She did good with her actions and her stunt work, her fight scenes. Then she's not in Mission Impossible 5. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. But they bring in the character Isla, played by Rebecca Ferguson, who's also in the new movie. She was great in Mission Impossible 5. Mission Impossible 6, she's not in it. Am I tripping? She's not in Mission Impossible 6, is she? She's not in Fallout, is she?
Who?
The girl. So the girl that was in this new movie that with the eye patch, she's not in Fallout.
No.
Okay, so I didn't think so. So then she's not in Fallout. There's a new
She'll
woman.
Be in the next movie, though. She'll be in the next movie though.
There's a new movie in this. Nigga, she died.
No, I thought about, no, she wasn't Fallout. She was a girl that was chasing him. That was trying to kill Hawkeye's character.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I forgot.
No, so the thing is, I think the confusing thing is because Ethan, he has a wife in the. So you didn't watch 3, so you don't know he's
no,
married.
but they talked about it in 4. I already know about his old wife shit.
Yeah, but 4 doesn't really give you the context. 3 gives you the biggest context. Of, like that's why it's like when you say love interest, I'm like,
But see,
it's not really love interest. It's just that they have to. Paula Patton, I think her filming schedule got fucked up, and she was in a custody battle. That's why she never came back.
All I'm saying, it's not even about the love interest shit. I don't even care if he has a love interest. All I'm saying is there's a lot of good women actresses that they have in these movies, and they kind of, it's like they always replace them in the next movie. Rebecca Ferguson in this new movie, she comes back. She was in Mission Impossible 5. She comes back in this movie. She's the one that he saves in the desert in the beginning. And then she has a fucking fight scene where she gets fucking killed, and they don't have any last moment to really like talk or connect. He finds her and she's fucking dead. I felt like that was kind of under a disservice to her character. She's a really good character. I would have loved to see her in the next movie. But the bitch is dead, and they replaced her with the new actress. The new actress that's in this movie, that plays Grace, Haley Atwell.
Yeah,
and I can guarantee you,
they had to get rid of her. They had to because, like you said in that movie, he said, "Watch, you're gonna see what happens to you." It's the same way that happens to all the women in his life. They get killed.
it's like a pattern, but I don't know if I necessarily. I don't know if I enjoy it. That's all. It's a minor complaint. It's a minor complaint.
Yeah.
I think she's a really good actress. I would love to see more of her.
Atwell's a better actress than her, and I'd rather see her more in the next movie and see what she does.
See, I disagree. I think
stole the
Rebecca Ferguson is, bro. Think about the shit we saw her do in Mission Impossible 5 and in this movie. The Haley Atwell character, she doesn't do any action in this movie. She's just a thief.
She did a little bit, but it wasn't.
She's a pickpocket. Rebecca Ferguson was doing action scenes, and she was shooting niggas, and she's an assassin. Like, I like seeing that shit, so I preferred that. Performance wise, I can see why you would say the other girl is better. I can see that.
I think the chemistry with Tom Cruise was better with Atwell versus Ferguson. I feel like Ferguson, she was there, but she was just like, "Oh, I'm here to be the girl who could fight, but I'm not gonna last the whole way." So it's just like I didn't really care about her character so much. When she died, I was like, "All right, cool."
Mm-hmm.
Next white woman up, you know.
Overall, though, it was a very good movie. Out of all the Mission Impossibles I've seen, it hasn't topped my Mission Impossible 4 for me. That one I enjoyed Ghost Protocol. I enjoyed literally from beginning to end. This movie, I can't say the same thing. There was parts of this movie where I was kind of like, not necessarily bored, but just like, okay, where's the next? Like, I'm just waiting for the next thing to happen, and I didn't get that for Mission Impossible 4. I was entertained the whole way through.
You know, we were talking about the fighting scenes. You know, the only fight scene where Tom Cruise was like, you know, his action was good was actually the last movie with Henry Cavill. That fight when he was getting his ass whipped by the Asian dude. You know what, bro? They like bringing Asian people in this movie, and they be kicking people's ass in their series. But that was like the only fight. I feel like there was not a fight scene like that in this movie. And I feel like there was one thing they should have carried over from the last movie was a fight scene like that. Because when that shit came out with Henry Cavill and they were getting their ass whooped, even though they ended up like losing the fight, but you know, ended up killing the dude anyway. I thought that shit was pretty cool. I feel like that was missing from this movie. That visceral, like hand-to-hand combat, that was missing. That fight on top of the train with Gabriel, it was all right, but the train was the main draw of that fight, not the hand-to-hand combat. And that's why I'm like,
bro, that shit was fire. Like when it was going through the tunnel, my nigga. Oh my god,
that was fire because of the train. The hand-to-hand choreography was okay to me. It wasn't that great. It's two older men fighting, so I guess that's why it's like they're kind of out there, not out their prime, but they're getting close to it. The other guy, Gabriel, looks like he's in his 50s, like in the show, like he's white hair. So to me, the fight wasn't as kinetic as anything in John Wick, but that's where I feel like Keanu kind of gets extra points for me, where his fight scenes are just so visceral and kinetic, and because
he old too, like he ain't young.
Yeah,
he in his 50s.
Cruise is like his fights. The focus of his fights is not the fist. It's just what's going around the fist. Except for that
Told
one
you.
fight.
That's what I said. He looked better in the fight scene, but he don't look good doing the fighting.
If I'm watching a martial artist, I want
Bro,
to. If
real
they
quick.
break down fights, I would rather them break down a fight in John Wick than break down a fight in fucking Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise is doing way more than Keanu Reeves though.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
He is.
In what sense? In
It's
what
just
sense?
a simple fact. Everything. Tom
Nah,
Cruise
see, that's why I
doing
disagree. You can't say no
literally
blatant
doing-
statement
I
like
think
that.
you're
Come
just
on.
you're just
He's
speaking with
literally
bias
doing,
right
he's
now.
stunt driving. He's doing the hand.
Keanu Reeves does that too.
He's
Keanu Reeves
shooting.
does driving too. He does shooting and driving. He
Bro, I'm
does
telling you,
shooting and fighting better than Tom Cruise.
I think
No,
if
he doesn't.
If
He
Tom Cruise
doesn't.
was younger, he was taller, this wouldn't be an issue. But because
Bro.
they have to like scale his height up and shit like that in that movie, it's kind of hard for him to do those scenes. And he's older, and he just
Tyrek, I just thought of something too.
What?
Remember in the John Wick movies, do you see John Wick? Do you see actually Keanu Reeves in the car twisting around, turning, drifting, shit like that? You see him doing that, right? And in Mission Impossible, the camera is inside the car for 80% of the time. When it comes to what Tom Cruise is doing, most of that driving car scene was them like interacting with one another, talking, saying, "Turn left, turn right. Hold up, switch, drive me. Hold up, wait, are you okay? Okay, cool. All right, bro. Keanu Reeves, that nigga was doing donuts. You see the doors coming off. You see him doing driving in the right.
He wasn't on the wheel. What are you talking about?
Also, that's
he was.
Red Peg's biggest complaint was, Keanu don't talk, and they talk a lot in Mission Impossible, but they have to talk a lot to make you
fill up the space. Yeah,
space where Keanu don't have to talk. His action is doing the talking for you.
Exactly. That was the whole point.
Going on.
He don't need to talk. Like, nigga, nah, we finna show you. We finna get busy.
Yeah, the action is just so much. It's just you're into it. Like, I didn't give a fuck what the fuck was that niggas gonna say when he was like shooting niggas in Paris. I didn't give a fuck because that shit looked cool, dude. While doing it, the bullets are doing the talking. With Tom Cruise, he gotta talk. There has to be some.
Tom Cruise, you could say all his actions doing the talking and everything too.
Tom Cruise is gonna say, "Are you okay? Turn left, turn right. Oh my god, pop the clutch."
Mission Impossible would be a better game if you're playing that movie as a video game. I feel like it would be a lot better. But because you're not playing and you're watching it, it feels like you're a backseat gamer. You know, I mean, both games would be fun to play. Like you could play a John Wick game or play like a Mission Impossible. It'll be fun, but I feel like Mission Impossible will be more enjoyed as a
Uncharted type game.
Uncharted type of game. Which is why I'm like, you know what? This game was a video game. If this movie was a video game, I'd like it a lot more. And it's probably the Uncharted bias speaking to me.
Okay.
Overall,
at the end of the day, Mission Impossible is a good movie, but this movie solidified the argument. To me, in my mind, this was the exact thing I needed to see to double down and say, "Yep, Keanu Reeves is the better."
What? The better what? Not action star.
He's a better.
He's not a better. For you to even have to try to think about that is ridiculous, nigga. It's ridiculous.
John Wick 4 is the better movie, and John Wick is better at gunplay and hand-to-hand combat. Period.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How about this? Red Pig, give me 3 franchises that Tom Cruise did amazing action in himself, not the scenes, not the vehicles, not the cinematography.
Last Samurai, Mission Impossible, and what's the name of that movie? I forgot the name of the movie. I can't think of something.
Oh, okay. Well, we have John Wick, we have The Matrix.
All you got is John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4.
Matrix.
The Matrix.
Constantine.
The Matrix. Come on.
Constantine. Okay, how about this? I'll give you a prime example.
Matrix. Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. These are 2 movies where everything looks good that's happening around them, right? Keanu Reeves' Constantine versus Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. Tom Cruise looks better in the world of War of the Worlds than Keanu Reeves looks in Constantine. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree there. Mission Impossible action, John Wick 4 action. Who looks better in the action?
John Wick.
Thank you. That's literally my argument. The 2 examples right there. War of the Worlds, everything going around. Tom Cruise looks good, running around the streets with his daughter in his hands. Better than Keanu Reeves with a cigarette talking to the devil.
One of Tom Cruise's side off, I don't think it did well in the box office. Edge of Tomorrow is probably better than most of Keanu Reeves movies.
Well, Edge of Tomorrow, I watched for the first time a couple years ago. And what's the other movie when he went to this planet and it was him and his wife, but they're clones of people?
Oh, you're talking about
Oblivion.
Oh, fuck.
Oblivion.
Edge of Tomorrow is better
Oblivion,
than
yeah.
90%.
He's talking about Oblivion, yeah.
A lot of movies that
The thing is, that movie's so like Edge of Tomorrow to me. It's like the same type of premise, like the futuristic dystopian shit, where I'm like, okay, Tom Cruise got like a type of movies in, and he's like excellent in, and I feel like Keanu has branched out more. So he went from Matrix, which was like a Tom Cruise movie where he had shit going on around him that was cool, but also within the Matrix, the one-on-one combat and melee stuff, it did it both so well. That's why people liked the first Matrix movie so well, because everything going on around it, the world building was fire. The action around the world was fire, but the hand-to-hand combat was good too. I haven't seen Tom Cruise take on a role like that where his martial prowess is overtaking the scene. Keanu got like 4 or 5 movies where like that dude fighting is just that's the movie. And if you're fighting, see, it's like Jackie Chan or Jet Li, where like those Asian stars take over the movie with their movement and their fighting. It's like you don't give a fuck what Jackie Chan says or what Jet Li has to say. You just want to see what the fuck they do. And I feel like Keanu is in that role where he's like, I don't give a fuck what he says. I want to see what you do, bro. And Tom Cruise got a movie like
you saying that. I guess you give him martial arts.
Yeah,
martial arts, but everything else, Tom Cruise.
But that's a big thing. That's a huge part not to have, though, in them action movies.
Yeah, it's an action movie.
But Tom Cruise can do it. He can do it. It's just probably not to the level that Keanu Reeves do it.
But I don't know. I haven't seen Tom Cruise do it before. Minority Report.
He do hand to hand and all that other shit.
It's like Matt Damon had more movies where I feel like he's hand to hand, like with Bourne Identity. I feel like Matt Damon also isn't that he don't do that no more. But the Bourne Identity, I feel like in terms of hand to hand combat, better than Mission Impossible too.
It's because
I just want to.
You could tell they have a focus on the stunt work in Mission Impossible over the hand to hand combat. Yeah, the fight choreography. Most of the best fight choreography in Mission Impossible are from other characters. Like for example, the Asian woman that's in this movie, that girl that played Mantis, her martial arts or combat scenes were great. She was doing a lot of crazy ass moves. The same thing for Rebecca Ferguson's character. In the movies that Mission Impossible movies that she's been in, she be doing like fucking jujitsu moves and shit. Most of the really good fight choreography is done by other characters and not Ethan Hunt.
Yeah,
that's something I noticed.
Bitch out the window and Ghost Protocol, like
even that nigga, they made Paula Patton look like a fucking bro. She was kicking ass in that movie.
Yeah, so it's like Tom Cruise is not. He hasn't had one of them fight scenes where I'm like, damn, bro, he's fucking this dude up. It's always some shit going on in the background, like in the last movie where he knocked Henry Cavill off the fucking helicopter and shit. Like, I guess, but it's like you don't see him utterly dominate somebody. Like, I want to see that shit. I want to see this dude like go up and like give someone a 2-piece and knock this dude the fuck out. But you don't really see that with Tom Cruise.
Overall, though, this was a really good movie. I'm excited for the sequel.
Yeah.
I hope the sequel can top this somehow. I mean,
one time, do you think
what can they do?
The best movie of the year? One time.
So far, yeah, I'll give it that. Because if I'm being honest with y'all, 2023, the first half, it's been kind of mid. It's been a few good movies.
Bro, I'm thinking it's a pretty good year for movies.
Decent. I think it's pretty good.
I think when we finish the year, it'll be a great year for movies. But I'm just going off of the first half alone.
Bro, y'all tripping. Miles Morales,
think,
John Wick 4, Babylon, Bo Was Afraid, Asteroid City, Mission Impossible.
Guardians 3.
This movie's been.
Yeah, we've had a decent run. Yo,
I keep saying Babylon, but I saw it this year.
The last 3 months, going back to John Wick, it's been pretty crazy.
I'm saying this is like the best summer for movies in a minute, in my opinion.
Transformers.
No, that's true because you got to realize too. This is also the first year, like post COVID, where like the people who make movies have been able to actually get back to making movies. So we're getting a lot of good releases this year.
Next week's about to be crazy, bro. Next week's about to be like insane. Like those
that's what I'm saying. This is one of the best summers for movies in a minute.
No, yeah, this is definitely one of the best years for a movie. But would I say Mission Impossible is one of the best of the year? I say so far, yes. Now, granted, it's a lot of heavy hitters coming out, and I ain't even talking about the summer, nigga.
Dune.
If you look at the fall, it's a lot of shit coming out this fall that might surprise us.
Like what? Like what?
What, Doom?
Killers of the Flower Moon comes out in October.
That movie, I think that shit about to be a hit.
Dune 2 come out in November, I think. October, November.
Yeah, Dune, November.
Oh, I forgot Creed came out this year. Nah, I ain't
Hey, Wonton, I got a dip. I got
Okay.
a dip, but make this the photo for the YouTube video when
Oh
when you
yeah,
upload it.
Alex. Before you go, I wanted you to talk about the movie thing, the
protest or the
protest. Yeah, the protest.
the strike. Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
I'll be honest, I don't
My
really know
thoughts
much
on it?
about it, but now I know the
Yeah.
actors are part of it now. I mean, I don't got that much to say about it, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, we appreciate you giving your thoughts, brother, and we will see you for the next
Yes,
episode
sir.
for Oppenheimer and Barbie, man. We appreciate it.
Giddy. It's a pleasure, man. I'll be on here tonight in the regular Discord. Home base head honcho out.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
So real quick, I will go over the strike a little bit for people who are listening. Hold on, let me just finish. I'm typing in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. So yeah, so real quick, if y'all don't know, I mean y'all know, y'all seen it. There's currently a writer strike going on that started, I want to say back in March it started. And now the actors have officially gone on strike, SAG-AFTRA. Now, there's a couple things I want to go over because there's a lot of people, including myself, who weren't really familiar with this process. And I listened to a podcast with a writer on it, so I've learned a lot of shit through him, and also just people that I've seen on Twitter who are involved. When it comes to Hollywood, you have guild members, so people who are actually a part of these organizations like SAG-AFTRA, which is the Actors Guild, and then WAG, which is the Writers Guild. You have people who are a part of those guilds, and there are certain requirements that have to be met to be part of the guild. But essentially, if you're a part of that guild and they go on strike, you cannot work. It would be seen as like a breach of your contract. So, and most people that are part of the guild follow those rules because it benefits them, right? If they go on strike, it's because they have demands that they want to be met. So they're not going to go to work. Why would they? They want demands that they have demands that need to be met. So they're going to follow the protocol. So I say all that to say, even though we have these strikes going on, you do still have writers and actors who are not a part of the guild that can still work. Now, one thing to note, a lot of those people, even if they're not a part of the guild, a lot of the time you'll see things on social media or whatever where they'll say like, I'm supporting the Writers Guild or I'm supporting the Actors Guild, so in solidarity, I'm not going to do such and such. Even though they're not required to do it, a lot of them will do it in solidarity. But there are going to be those few people who still take jobs and do work because they got to eat and they're not part of the guild. Which is why, if you guys remember, when they had the last writer strike back in like, 2007? There were a lot of TV shows and films being made, and a lot of them were not very good. But the reason they were not very good is because you had low-level writers, people who were not part of the guild, who were writing these projects, but they didn't necessarily have the talent to do so. So we'll probably see the same thing. You'll probably see, some shitty ass writing for TV shows or movies. Maybe even some shitty movies like will come out. But the main thing to take note of this is Hollywood is pretty much at a standstill. It's kind of like all over because you have actors who are overseas that are also a part of the guild, and even the ones who aren't a part of the guild because they primarily work overseas, a lot of them will still choose to not work because, again, they want to join in solidarity. So a lot of our favorite TV shows like Game of Thrones, I read that Game of Thrones they had the option of continuing the film, but they stopped because the actors wanted to join in solidarity and not work. So a lot of those shows are halted. Deadpool 3, we've been seeing a lot of leaks from Deadpool 3. That movie has stopped filming. It was supposed to come out next year in May. With this strike shit, we're going to get a lot of delays, y'all. There's going to be a lot of delays. TV shows are going to get pushed back. Movies are going to get pushed back. Marvel was already dealing with rearranging their slate. They literally just announced some rearrangements they did a few months ago. They're going to have to rearrange again because of these strikes. It may even affect movies into 2025 because James Gunn was supposed to be filming Superman. They said January 2024 is when he wanted to film. These strikes might not be over by then. It's very possible that these strikes will go into the new year. If that happens, it's going to delay even future movies for 2025 and beyond. So as of right now, we don't know what's going to happen.
But I think they're about to fuck up House of Dragons, man.
Yeah, like I said, they stopped filming.
Yeah.
There's a podcast I listened to with the director. His name is Kevin Smith. Some of y'all might know Kevin Smith. He does a lot of he has his own movies like Clerks, but he's done some other shit. But he has a podcast with a writer named Mark Bernardin. Mark Bernardin does comic books. He's worked on TV shows, all types of Star Trek TV shows. He hasn't. I don't think he's done any movies yet, but he's also worked on video games. Long story short, he's a part of the Writers Guild, and he's been giving a lot of updates. And so a lot of the information that I know has been coming from him. Originally, when the strike started back in like March, he said he thought it would end somewhere around September. He thought the strike would end, but the way it's looking now, you got these CEOs doubling down. They not budging. Like I said, these strikes may very well go into the new year.
Bob Iger pretty much fucked the shit up for them too.
Yeah.
Because he said some crazy shit about how they're being unreasonable or something like that. And like, yo, you guys make the most money out of fucking everyone. Then y'all make profits every fucking year. So, I mean,
and there's a couple things too, because some of y'all might be asking like, why are they striking? So there's two parts of this. The writers, they're striking because they don't get paid residuals for TV shows that they write that get aired on streaming services. So when, for example, let's say you write an episode or an entire season of a fucking Netflix show and it becomes their highest stream show. Like let's use Wednesday, for example. Wednesday broke records for Netflix last year. If you wrote an episode of fucking Wednesday, you get paid for writing that episode and never again. You do not get a residual check. The way it used to work for TV, if you wrote a TV episode, every time they play that episode on TV, you get a check in the mail. You get a residual check because the network gets paid for the ads that they run on that episode. There's no ads on streaming. So there's no ad revenue. There's only subscriber revenue. And they do not pay out a portion of the subscriber revenue to the writers. So that's one thing. The other thing is AI. And the AI affects actors and writers. A lot of the things that the Writers Guild has been protesting is with things like ChatGPT, it's very possible for and ChatGPT has not only gotten better in the last year, it's going to continue to get better. They are fearful that networks will eventually use AI to write entire TV series and maybe hire one writer to clean it up to make it fit for TV. That way they don't have to pay any writers or hire any writers. So they want protection in place to basically bar the use of AI for writing. So that's the other part that the writers are asking for. And then the third part would just be basic things like healthcare benefits, higher pay, because the cost of living has gone up every fucking where in the country. So that's for the writers. For the actors, it's AI again. There's been talk of studios scanning people's faces and using them as like so when it comes to like when they cast TV shows, all those people in the fucking background of a TV show, most of the time those are real people, and they have to pay those people. What if they can just scan somebody's face, pay them a check for fucking $200, and then they can just fucking digitally place those people in the background for everything that they make for the next decade? So it's things
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
supposed to be like in perpetuity or some shit, and that's just ridiculous, right?
Right. It's
No
it's
business would sign a deal for this, for
yeah.
perpetuity, and they're trying to do it to the actors, and right, crazy.
So it's things like that they're fighting against for the actors. And again, it also it goes to residual checks. A lot of actors on Twitter were posting their residual checks. There's dudes who were on fucking Disney shows getting fucking checks for 10 cents a month. Like, it's ridiculous.
Did you see that one dude Disney took off his show? I forgot. It was nominated for an Emmy, and he said he only got a $300 check, I think, for writing the episode or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's looking. We read up on it and see like it's kind of fucked up. So I don't know.
So all in all, I do agree with what they're fighting for, the writers and the actors. It's just one of those things where as fans we got to be patient. This shit is going to take a while. It's not going to happen overnight. And we have to kind of be understanding. Like, a lot of our favorite movies and TV shows that we were anticipating might get delayed. And it kind of sucks coming off of COVID because we dealt with a lot of delays for COVID, and now we have this going on. But at the end of the day, we should be wanting the people that make the shit that we love, we should want them to be taken care of so that they can keep making the shit that we love. That's how I feel about it anyway. So it's going to suck for us for a while, but at the end of the day, it's hopefully going to pay off, and they'll get some good shit out of it. But that's all I had to say about it. Real quick, I want to see. There's a question in the chat. He said, "Wonton, they got a 70mm theater where you at?" So Christopher Nolan's been promoting Oppenheimer for a 70mm IMAX. It's like the largest form IMAX. I think they even use like real film. It's not digital. And so he says it's the best way to watch the movie. The only problem is not a lot of theaters have 70mm. And I checked my area. In my area, there aren't any. I think the closest one to me was in like fucking Cleveland or some shit. I'm not going to Cleveland. So I'm seeing Oppenheimer in IMAX, 35mm IMAX, but it should still be pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it for our topics, man. While we're here, do any of y'all have anything to say before we get out?
Nah, man. About to go in the pet mart and get my puppy dog some snacks.
I'm about to go watch Jujutsu Kaisen and fucking Rurouni Kenshin. So
I bet. Well, so just to give y'all a rundown, the next time we do the show, I'm not sure when it'll be. It might be next week. It might be the week after. But the next movies that we have coming up, we will be talking about Oppenheimer, of course. We will be talking about Barbie. There's a horror movie coming out next week called Talk to Me that we will be seeing as well, me and Alex. I would advise all of you guys to go check it out if you really want to see a good horror movie. It's getting really good early reviews, and I haven't seen it obviously, but it looks really good. No, it's a horror movie. It's called Talk to Me.
Oh, bro, has the Rotten Tomatoes for Barbie came out yet?
I don't think I don't think they won't come out till Monday or Tuesday. I don't believe.
I'm about to say I don't think I've seen any first impressions. I know some people seen the movie.
Yeah, there's an embargo and shit.
No, I have seen first impressions for Barbie. I heard because they had the premiere like a week or two ago, and people said it was good. But those are critics, obviously, not actual people. Actual people, you know what I meant.
Jeremy Johnson, I think tomorrow or some shit.
So yeah, Talk to Me is next weekend. No, I'm sorry, I keep thinking, bro. Barbie and Oppenheimer is next weekend. Talk to Me comes out on the 27th or 28th is when it comes out. And then
which ones y'all seeing first?
Oppenheimer. I'm seeing that Thursday.
Hold on. Beside that though, Ninja Turtles comes out the following week, the first week of August. Ninja Turtles comes out. I'm seeing that.
I'm only going to see that for Jack.
And then I think Blue Beetle comes out the following week after that.
Hey, that shit do look ass. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I said Pat. It's ass, but passing that shit too. I'm not fucking watching that shit.
Ninja Turtles looks really good and fun. I'm definitely checking that out. I'm seeing Oppenheimer next Saturday, and then I'm seeing Barbie that Sunday.
I'm seeing
So back to back
IMAX
movie. Okay.
645. I'm seeing that shit in DCS X. So I mean, it's not IMAX or
So y'all want to have a
70
podcast that
millimeter.
Sunday?
What's the 23rd? I could do it the 23rd.
Yeah, it's the 23rd.
Yeah, I can do it then. This Sunday at work though.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
so
that's it. So if we do a show next weekend, y'all, it'll only be 2 movies to be reviewed. So we'll probably have a
Two big ones.
secondary. 2 big movies. They probably take a while to talk about, but we'll probably have enough time to throw in like a secondary topic or a fan topic. And if you guys want us to talk about something,
we get more people who watch like Kiso or somebody to come talk.
yeah, Kiso did have a question he wanted us to talk about, but we didn't have time. We'll do that next weekend. He wanted to know recommended shows for streaming. I have definitely a long list of shows to recommend for streaming.
I got one for you right now, Sandman. There you go, watch that.
Huh? Sandman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman was good. It was good. But yeah, man, appreciate you checking us out. Go ahead.
If you haven't seen it, animated, Arcane on Netflix, baby.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go over that. But appreciate y'all coming in the chat, chilling with us. If you have not seen any of the movies we talked about today, check them out, man. It's the summer of cinema. Okay,
Yes,
we are in the summer of cinema at the moment, and it's only beginning. It has no end in sight. Okay, we have a lot of movies coming out. So yeah, we're gonna be rocking with y'all for a minute. We appreciate y'all for tuning in live, and for those who are gonna be listening to this, later on, we appreciate y'all as well. One thing I want to ask from y'all though, like the video, please share the video on your social medias, Twitter. My plan is to hopefully grow this, and so that eventually we can make this kind of like an official thing. Like right now, we're just having fun talking about movies and shit. But if y'all really fucking with it, and other people are fucking with it, then we might actually have something here that we can actually grow and make big and involve the community in. So all in all, I just want to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. By the way, this is the 10th episode. We've been doing this for 10 episodes, y'all. This is the 10th episode. So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all.
John Donuts and
shout out John Donuts.
shout out to John Donuts.
Movie Guys member. And we'll catch y'all later, man. We'll catch y'all probably next weekend. If not, I'll let y'all know. I'll tweet out the next time. But I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna head out, y'all. Peace.
Oh gosh.
I shoot at these niggas, no bitching. Yeah, they see the cops, they bitching.